You missed it. You missed your opportunity to ruin the intro. Does that what you sound like you when you blow your nose now? Now that crisp apparently is broken. Is that what it sounds like?
That's what it sounds like to me when Jackson does it.
Sounds like a dying elephant
Mm-hmm.
or walrus
Mm-hmm.
or aardvark. They've got kind of
You're an
like
aardvark.
I kind of am. Aardvarks are. Have you ever looked at an aardvark? They're weird fucking animals, man.
They are impact.
We're
Here,
multiplying.
creeper.
Uh-huh. There are many of us. Well, if that's the case, then welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm your host, Isaac MCCanary. It's Sunday. Might even be near the end of the video game. We're playing Ace Combat 7. 7-3. Surprise,
Whoa.
guys, we're playing a different video game. I thought you guys were ready.
Oh, God.
Sean, are you ready?
It never ends.
Introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Jackson, and I burp and sneeze a lot, apparently.
Hi, my name is Sean, aka the Talking Skull, he, him, and y'all, I'm just here to vibe today. I'm here for chill, hang.
I mean, this is the chillest game to play. You said it
This is
yourself.
such a chill game.
It's a
Did
chill
I?
game. You were like, this is like lo-fi hip hop.
This is like lo-fi hip-hop beats to study and fall asleep to.
Yeah,
This
to
is
fly
like
a plane and
hi-fi-
have an existential crisis too.
This
Is
is
how
like
you feel?
Hi-Fi Rush.
I really want to play that game.
It's excellent.
Is this
And cool news, I heard that the IP was bought by a different company, and so it's no longer dead.
Well, that's
Neat.
good. Is Shinji Mikami still gonna have any association with it?
I didn't read that much, so I'm sorry that I only delivered you half of the news.
Listen, I don't care about the IP as much as I care whether or not Shinji Mikami was screwed again. That's what I care about.
That's fair.
This little mechanical man inside this brain is giving me Big Tetsuo the Iron Man vibes.
Is it me? Am I the little mechanical man in your brain? Is that why you have a headache right now, Sean?
Stop rustling around in there.
It's so cozy. I like that this time it really interpreted sphere to mean literal sphere. That's
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
sort of a space helmet.
it also got the big truck. It also got the big truck in this one.
Mm-hmm. And the series of tubes.
And
Honestly,
the
this is a
series of
10 out of 10.
tubes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
and you're
love
getting
the
like piped into the plane.
Yeah, you're like, I love that basically everything in this picture is interconnected by some series of tube.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Even the big truck.
Even the big truck, yeah.
Now this one I really like, because this could be a screenshot in the game, I think.
This is just Terminator 4.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
correct. Now, caveat being, I have not seen Terminator 4, but I am led to believe that it is this.
Wait, am I
There's
crazy?
like
I thought
6
they.
of those movies.
Oh my god! I thought they stopped at 3.
No. Definitely not.
Oh
Actually-
man, Terminator 4 is a 2009 film. Oh,
There's
man.
Yeah.
Salvation, there's
It was
Black
like a
Fire or something. I don't remember.
Man,
it was
I'm
like a
just way behind-
prequel.
Jeez.
This is also in another language. And this is also maybe the most accurate for what the game has to offer.
It's true.
But I did want to show, I had one for last week, and I think these ones came out really good too. It was a different one though. Like, I feel like that one's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we want to focus on that image for a moment, or are you going to go back through them?
Yeah.
This one?
I feel
Are
like
you-
this man's eyelids must be burnt out. Like, that is extremely cool to have a monitor that big. It's like, I would love a monitor that big, but my god, if you're sitting like 2 inches from that, like, his corneas must be suffering.
What's fascinating is that
his
the
eyes
monitor
have screen
lines
burn.
up with the background.
Yeah.
He could just put the monitor away. That plane's gonna hit him right in the head.
Exactly. It's just a big. It's actually a window. That's actually a window Jackson. Little did you know, there are windows in your house. They're not television screens. We promise.
Man, I've got so many windows. I've got Windows 95. I got
That's a lot of windows.
Yeah.
Also, Isaac, there's a new channel point redeem.
Yes, I've in workshop. I think I have some time to shave the crust off of it, but I don't have that much time. I know it's coming up. I know I'm running out of time. I did it. There's officially a $1 million redeem.
Whoa.
A 1 million
That's a lot of
point
money.
redeem. Yeah.
That's
I was just surprised they let me even put that number in. I was concerned it wouldn't even let me do 1 million, but it did.
Dude, if I may plug a different stream for just 1 second, because you're talking about like very, very high numbers. There is a director over at Funimation who streams, and I want to say it's like a 2, 3, or 4 million point redeem, something like that. It's an extremely high number. Which is, he's a director over at Funimation. He says, if you redeem this, I will give you a tiny part, like a one line part in a project that I direct.
Get one up,
Fuck.
Isaac.
Yeah, which is like, oh my god.
Who is this?
Like,
I guess I need to start watching them.
he's a guy named Kyle Phillips. I took a class from him actually. He's a really cool guy. He's very, very cool.
Sorry, what did you say, Sean?
I just say get one up, Isaac.
I'm trying. Listen, I didn't even think that anybody would have 1 million points. I'm sorry. Silos is making me have to do work.
Of course, Silas has been watching this stream for 5.5 years.
We love you, Silos, if you're out there. I'm working on it. This is the one that I really like, by the way, out of this set. I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this nightmare. What's wrong with his notebook? Do you see the spine on that notebook?
Yeah. It's splitting into two.
Whoa,
It's a literal spine. Yeah, no, I wanted to share those ones too. They seemed pretty good. I think this week's are better overall, but these ones I was excited to share, especially this one last week. But you were busy. You were busy.
How could you?
I forgive you, but you were busy.
How could this happen to me?
I've been
I
getting.
pay my respects.
Whoa,
I've
is
been
that
starting,
what that
I've been
line
starting to get
is?
better about what's up.
I always said that line is I made my mistakes.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I think that's yeah.
I'm
Jesus, fuck, that's
so
loud.
sorry, everyone. The PlayStation 1 played its classic prank. I'm so sorry. Fuck. I haven't run
Welcome
this
to
yet.
Pure IMAX.
Is everybody
Hope y'all are
awake
ready
now?
to enjoy Tenet.
Fuck. Christ. I mean, I love that sound effect is super. That and like the PlayStation 2 intros are super nostalgic. Like I will never.
I got one love, and it's.
Try it again. Sorry,
And it's
just
what?
Crispy didn't like that one.
Sega.
Oh, that one. You mean
The one where they just yell Sega that Chris won't allow me to do.
Sega?
Yeah, because just there was one point where it just came in Sega.
Yeah, no, that's that's it.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
what? When did they do that? What did I miss when they really quickly said Sega?
They like
Sean
yell
was-
it.
Yeah, well, because it's much more. I think Sean said it like that, but like the company themselves do that Sega like that.
No, they do. There's one where they just yell it, where it's just like
what?
They just scream Sega at the top of their lungs?
Which game or series or what was this?
Sega!
I don't remember, man. This is ancient history. I
Sonic
wanna say
3D Blast? Fuck!
Holy shit! Yeah, Kirby had it exactly. I'm
How
so
does that-
glad that Kirby knows exactly what I'm talking about.
How is that game just the most cursed game ever made?
Well, 3D
It's
Blast is
wild.
yeah. I thought 3D Blast was okay. I thought 06 was the bad one.
I mean,
Well-
it's Sonic. There's a lot of bad ones.
We love Sonic here. There's a lot of bad ones.
3D Blast was not a good game.
Also, you want 6, Sean.
I
If
thought I
you're-
did.
Yes. You'll
Thank
know.
Thank you, Kirby, for validating my shit that these two chuckleheads were doubting me on.
Mhm.
Thought you were just making a bit. Apparently, Sega was the one making a bit.
Right? It's so funny. I
It's
played
very
that game more than I should have.
Wait, so you did play 3D Blast? I did not know that. And
I had 3D
suppose.
Blast as a kid.
Yeah, didn't know that.
I'm assuming your understanding of 3D Blast just comes from the extra New Frame Plus video.
The New Frame Plus video and anywhere else that I end up hearing its cursed presence uttered, pretty much, and every time it's uttered, it's always cursed.
It's pretty cursed. Also, we didn't answer Creeper. Y'all's names are not that similar, and yet my mouth wants to combine them into one name.
It's the color for me. If they have a similar color for you, they have a similar color on one of my chat windows.
They're literally red and green for me.
Well,
they're
sorry, I don't know what to
green
tell
and
you,
green.
Sean.
But Creeper asked how would we rank in terms of silliness between the three of us? Obviously, Isaac is the silliest.
Yeah, I think. And then if you have to stack me and Sean, I'm probably the more silly between the two of us.
I'm the baseline for silliness.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you're
the placebo for silliness.
the placebo. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the control group.
Oh, yeah, the control. Okay, okay, there we go.
Which is better, the placebo or the control group of silliness?
I mean, they're the same, but
Placebo of silliness is a much better stream title if that's what you're asking us.
Uh-huh. Thank you, Sean. He understood the assignment.
yeah, I'm not able to keep up with these boyos.
Kirby played a lot of Sonic Mega Collection and never beat the first stage of 3D Blast. But it's how you got into Puyo Puyo. That's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't think I ever beat 3D Blast, but I got pretty far into it. I don't know why I played that game so much. I just liked Sonic.
Listen, man, Sonic has that Riz, as the children are saying these days.
That version of Sonic sure don't, though.
Yeah, that's fair. He's fucking terrifying.
Kirby, we can't talk about the placenta of silliness. Twitch won't allow it.
That's inappropriate, and this is a Christian stream. You should know better. Dude, you're destroying the microwaves.
That talked about placenta?
What?
What's
Are we talking about placenta without me?
No, I don't think so. I think I remembered what it was. And it's impossible to reference.
It has
I
nothing
was
to do.
watching funny news bloopers the other day.
Oh god.
News bloopers are funny. That's all that is.
I mean, my favorite example of a news blooper isn't so much a blooper as that incredibly sad news anchor with the Disco Elysium music behind it.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
amazing.
he's doing exactly what he intends to be doing, and it's suffering.
I can't tell if it's a bit or not, and I love it for either, if it is or isn't.
It is
Yes.
and isn't.
He has so many good fucking lines. His whole speech about how, something good happened here at one point, but it definitely no longer is here now. Fucking Christ.
I'm gonna have to kill you.
I also have a headcanon that there's like one of the last things he says is, my dad always used to say that if you could survive February, you could survive the rest of the year. And there's gotta be a take in there where he mentions that his dad died in February. Because he just pauses for a second and just goes on. That's it with the news today.
Oh yeah.
I'm convinced that there's a take where they were like, we can't have that one, buddy. And he's like, oh, okay. Too much, huh? It's so fucking good. Fuck.
Yeah, this is Sean playing this right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, I forgot to turn on the Limburger. Shit. I don't know if clicking off will will kill Sean. Sean, are you ready to find out whether or not you're about to crash into the ground? Here, I'll let you at least fly. I didn't have to worry. Yeah, didn't have to worry about it.
100%.
Got him. Got him.
It was just some really high skill play for a while. I was like, dang, Sean's on the, like, whoever's playing is on their A game.
I'm such a good airplane.
Dude, you've been downloaded, man. You've been downloaded into the airplane. Like, that's the phrase, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been downloaded into the aircraft. You've been downloaded into the fighting game. You've been downloaded into Sonic 3D Blast.
Oh god, no.
Okay, Heaven and
The
Hell.
world to live in.
Heaven and Hell, a video game to be downloaded in.
Like,
Er,
okay.
Name
I
a
think I
video
follow.
game that would be heaven and a video game that would be hell.
Yeah. And no literal heaven or hell.
Exactly.
that's
Dante's Inferno's a book, not a video game.
Well, if you don't think there's any games that have hell in them, I have bad news for you. First of all, Dante's Inferno is a game, so already you're off to a bad start.
That was the joke, Sean. And also, Doom doesn't take place in hell, it takes place on Mars.
I mean,
Half of it takes place on Mars.
yeah, I was gonna say.
And that sounds like hell.
I mean, Wind Waker might actually be heaven for me, even though it is literally the apocalypse.
It's like a post-apocalypse, though. Oh, dang, I really thought I could bounce off that.
No, this is a building, Sean. Buildings are harder than ground.
Seemingly. Whoa, I didn't know I could do that.
The fuck are you You're like resetting the camera?
Whoa.
Yeah.
I did not know you could do that either. It didn't like that one zoom punch.
I was gonna say, it won't let me do it anymore, I broke it.
Project Aces saw what you were doing and they told you to stop, Sean. They hacked my computer to tell you to stop.
I have no idea that you have, like, controls for the camera angles here.
Yeah.
You can control this playback. I didn't know.
Yeah, you can also put on night vision. Doesn't that look good? There's that
It looks
bad
so good.
night vision CRT effect.
Living in the world of Stardew Valley is a good one.
Also, Creeper Cat likes to mention a lot how I guess he had a teacher, or they had a teacher who, I don't know if Creeper's a boy or a girl, or neither, or both. They mentioned...
Professor Oak.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be respectful, okay? They mentioned before that they had a teacher mispronounce organism as orgasm somehow. How? How do you have a teacher mispronounce that? Was it their first day teaching biology?
Holy shit. I don't know if I've ever told this story on stream, but I had the most beautiful moment of vindication. So there was a teacher in high school that I fucking hated.
Okay.
She sucked, and I beefed with her all year, for reasons that are not important right now. But the point is, she was awful, and for the purposes of this story, she was awful anyway.
Right, yeah.
And after I graduated the next year, a friend of mine who was in the next grade down had her and told me about they were in class and they were talking about the Declaration of Independence for some reason. It was not a history class, but it was history adjacent. And she wrote the name up on the board, but she misspelled Declaration of Independence and wrote Declaration of Independence.
No way!
Really
And I genuinely rolled on the floor laughing.
Fuck. Independence. I want to know the Declaration of Independence. And also, my bad. I remember you mentioning it before. I just couldn't remember if it happened to you or if it was just funny story. It was funny story. It was funny. Good job, Sean. You did it.
No.
お、いい調子だな。奴なしでもできる実力を見せてみろ。
What, Keith?
I don't know.
I don't know what Keith meant by that. What other guy? Are you the other guy you're talking about, Keith? You can't call yourself the other guy. You could say me. Oh, this is a different mission. I don't think we've ever seen this. I don't remember this.
I don't remember this one either.
God, this game is fucking wild.
By the end of this, Isaac, do you think we will have actually done all the missions, or
Yeah.
will there still be a few words are hard that we just didn't stumble into because of like small choices that? Because like every now and then there's the 5 major paths, but then there's like minor choices you can still make.
Mm-hmm. In this case, it just seemed to have a mission that I don't remember us doing like at all.
Rebecca could live in PSO and use extensive lore knowledge to become an underworld information broker, and then get killed by a sci-fi hitman in their sleep.
Or a Booma. They're monsters. The Booma would probably kill the fuck out of you if you weren't armed.
I'm tempted to say I would want to live in the world of Morrowind, but I definitely couldn't call it heaven because I would definitely get blighted and turn into some kind of horrible corpus beast, so...
Yeah, I'm having that same sort of issue because I was thinking even with Stardew Valley. What's up?
I was gonna say, if you say like Elden Ring would absolutely be hell. I would not want to live in any of the Souls games, even a little bit. They're all hell, and I love them all.
Ooh, I know. Battle Chef Brigade. That would be a fun one to live in.
Yes, you stole the good one, Sean.
Because at first I was thinking, because like even Stardew Valley has like depression and stuff. Like half of those characters are just like depressed with like a good coat of paint on them. But which to Sean's credit, I read his article forever ago, and I was like, dang, he makes good points.
Back when I wrote articles like some kind of animal.
Yeah. But so even like happy games like and so I was thinking, because I understand the PSO thing, right? And I was like, well, what about Final Fantasy? I was like, no, man. Like most of those games have like, unless I'm the hero of the story, there's a lot of people that end up just in a bad way just by being regular civilians. Like, like if you're just a regular civilian in this world, like sometimes you get messed up. It's like you have world-ending calamities happening like every few weeks or something like that, and you're just trying to tend your crops. Like, it's a terrible place to live.
God forbid you live in Final Fantasy X setting and your entire world might just be deleted at some point.
Right?
Because of reasons. Also, is this new? I don't remember this.
I don't recognize it either.
This is what I'm saying, man. Armored Core 6 stumbled. Ace Combat 3 flew so Armored Core 6 could stumble. Drunk. Like, the fact that they just give you new missions and then leave it on the modus on the player to decide when they want to do different content and not just, but also sneak in the new content and not just say, you know, now you do a new mission instead of the mission you would have done if you were on a previous playthrough. It was fucking wild. Huh. I do not remember that.
今水面下では両者の間で現場を無視した権力抗争が続いているようだ。誰の目から見て
I do seem to remember that line about
若者のあがきにす
science threatening economics because I remember that being a real head scratcher.
る。しかし、
Uh-huh.
このよう
Yeah.
な行為は時代が変革を求めている今、我々
That's valid,
全時
Kirby.
代的な足かせに過ぎん。そう思わないか。我が部署
I mean, that's where I'm at with Wind Waker. I would happily be just a person living in Wind Waker. Like, nobody knows the world has a chance of ending. And as far as if I know that Link's got it, he's got it, right?
Everybody
not like-
trusts Link.
Yeah.
行こう。後の命令に従い飛び立ってほしい。もう格納庫はチェックしたか。俺たちの部署に新しい2タイプの戦闘機が届いているそうだ。
Two new planes. I've
これま
never
での戦闘機
noticed
でも十分だったが、
Keith say
これから
that
の
before.
戦いに備えて新装備の機体を試して
Maybe we just really didn't pay attention to Keith,
いやいや、
like, at all, but
実部の連中も本腰入れてきたようだな。
who the fuck is Keith?
奴らのデータ採集でも手伝ってやるとするか。
Tainted piece. Is it just me, or does anyone else find the word taint kind of just gross?
Because it means taint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the word tainted. I tend to go for the word corrupted instead, though.
Is it because it has the word taint in it?
Probably.
Perineum. Well, that's a really official term there, Kirby. And
Yeah,
most of the
official
depressed
around here.
characters do have arcs to make them less depressed when you become friends with them. Yeah, I know about that.
That's true. You do fix it. You do fix their depression.
You do fix them with presents.
They all just needed friendship. Which to not discount friendship, that does, that's a good thing that people need as well.
I watched a video today that Yahtzee put out about the feelings about how what friendships can be like in video games. And he did have mixed feelings about the way that Stardew Valley handles it. And I'm just sitting here like, how does Tokimeki Memorial continue to prove that it has just been the best piece of media ever made about the complexity of relationships and friendships? How? Just how, Sean?
Well, I think there's one way. I know you just asked Sean, but I think there's one major way that both of you have pointed out.
Isaac,
Yeah?
I need you to tell me which path I'm supposed to take here. Am I supposed to do something here or not?
No, you're not supposed to. Just shoot Fiona down. You're just supposed to kill Fiona. Just kill Fiona. Just kill everyone. Kill Eric if you want to. Kill everyone. No, you just know those people's names, Sean. So have emotions.
Don't act like I'm being a dumbass. There was a whole thing there where it was like, I'm not gonna shoot her. I don't think we should do this. And Vision was like, okay, you do it. So this is being presented to me as though it's a choice.
Oh. Fuck. I did not read into that, my bad. I think that's more or less to imply that since you're on the opposite side of this mission, that because you see like Keith and you see Dijon as like present here, and that clearly these are GR trying to shoot them down, that they didn't want to have any part of what's going on here. I think that's interesting.
No, Dijon did.
Oh, Keith did. My bad. I can't read. Apparently I'm not paying attention, Sean.
Alright, well, if we get the same ending that we did before, then it's your fault.
Damn it! Why is it always me?
Reaper, that's a good point.
Yours should not be a loved gift for Shade once you get to 8 hearts. I don't have context. Is he an alcoholic?
Shane's whole story arc is that he's a depressed alcoholic who tries to commit suicide.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, this is people's happy game.
Refuel.
Right turn.
Right
I
turn.
passed the thing I was supposed to be doing. I wasn't paying attention.
Refuel. There it is.
Hello?
You got it. Honestly, that was a pretty good turnaround. That wasn't that bad. Yeah, see? It's fine.
Yes.
I bet he was like, wow, he really doesn't need fuel, I guess.
Yeah. Air refueling still messes. Every time we see this, like air refueling is a real thing that exists in real life, and it messes with me that people can pull this off. Like,
You want to
it
hear
feels
even
like it's-
more messed things? There are helicopters that do it.
oh my gosh, jeez.
To the backs of these.
Did you turn or something? What is happening right now?
To the backs of planes, like
Yep.
helicopters have refueled planes.
No, other way. Other way.
Oh, gotcha.
Though there might be air refueling helicopters for planes, actually.
That's nutty. Those don't even go near the same speed as each other. Like how do you keep synced up during the refueling process?
Give me that.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm out of here.
I might be mistaken on that last part, but there is a helicopter that can mid-air refuel, which is wild. It's got a big long schnoz on the end of it.
Yeah.
気分はどうだ鈍重な大型機の撃墜は確かに後味は悪いだろうしかし
Yeah, you knew who was on that too. You feel bitter, Sean?
この刺激は
I don't have the capacity to feel things at the moment. I am blitzed.
Fiona, who even was that? She doesn't even matter.
Fiona, I don't even know.
それだけだおい気がついているか最近の命令内容
I want to know which one is the wife who eats rocks, because I definitely want the wife who eats rocks. Is it the redhead, the artist, the sculptor?
It's the no, that's Leah. She's just the best choice. No, Abigail, the purple one, is the one that eats rocks.
Fuck! I like Leah more though, but I didn't know Abigail eats rocks.
Yeah, Abigail plays the video games and eats rocks. And everyone likes Leah more. Leah's just the best choice.
Yeah, Leah is the best girl.
Yeah, independently of each other, I believe Sean and I both did the hookup with Leah.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, on different save files, of course. Like we're not, you know.
Wow.
I bet you guys also picked Ronnie, huh?
Who the fuck is Ronnie?
Like
From fucking Elden Ring.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
That
yeah.
is true.
She is also the best girl.
Yeah, like that was the first ending of mine, and I did all 3 endings. Which the Elden Lord ending is just kind of.
Do you think Ron Perlman is gonna play her in the movie adaptation?
Absolutely.
Oh,
They're gonna have to.
yeah.
They're gonna have to also cybernetically attach arms to him to get it done. It'll be intense, man.
Ronnie Perlman.
It'll also be the second time that he plays a one-eyed character.
Wow.
When was the first? Which character are you talking about?
Think very hard about the time when Ron Perlman played a character who had one eye.
The only character that Ron Perlman ever played that ever mattered was Hellboy.
Fuck!
And I'll stick to that.
Hey guys, what's wrong with my brain? Where
Who
did
did you think Ron Perlman was?
I don't want to say, because I know their name immediately. It immediately came to my brain at how wrong I was.
Oh no.
I want you to guess who I thought it was.
Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi played a one-eyed character?
No.
Because I didn't the hint. I was serious.
So your hint is any one-eyed character in a movie?
Are you thinking like Mad-Eye Moody from like Harry Potter?
Who knows that guy's name?
I don't know. It's not Ron Perlman.
Hmm. I don't think there's any characters in Alien who only have one eye.
That's true. It's
I don't think there's any character in Jurassic Park with only one eye.
Darn, he's
Talking
catching
about
on.
Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Nope.
I don't know if he even... I assume he only has one eye because he's like the pirate guy.
Technically, he has no eyes. Wait, the skeletons have eyes.
Famous one-eyed characters. Oh, Leela from Futurama.
Oh, yeah, that's it. See, I was gonna guess Mike Wazowski earlier, but
Ooh, that's good.
Guys, I was thinking of
Sauron?
John Goodman.
John Goodman.
Don Goodman. Was that
No.
an Inside Llewyn Davis reference?
No! Oh my god, did he play two one-eyed characters?
I don't remember if he only had one eye in that movie or not.
Now
Oh.
I'm struggling to remember what one-eyed character John Goodman played.
It's like the most defining feature of that character, aside from a couple other things, including...
The Big Lebowski?
No!
I don't remember
John-
what movies John Goodman's been in.
Yeah,
John Goodman was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He was a
Oh
Cyclops.
yeah, the Cyclops and Oh Brother.
I do love the Sauron's attributed as a one-eyed character. It's technically true, but also...
Sauron doesn't have a body. Just
I mean, he
saying.
does at some points, but we don't really... I don't remember if you could see eyes in his helmet. I don't think you can.
Yeah.
You never see Sauron talk with his face. He's just a big eye.
Only
Sauron
with his
is-
mouth.
Sauron isn't
Lord of the Rings
real.
fans in chat, tell them how good that joke was, because they didn't get it.
Wait, is that the... Oh, the mouth is... I fucking hate you. That took me... I forgot that there's a literal character just called the Mouth of Sauron.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying! Sauron doesn't have a body! He's not real! Why are they fighting?
Because he still has a lot of influence in the world. He's got Mount Doom.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even real. What are they fighting about?
What are they fighting for?
See, everyone always jokes about how they're like, look at this Sauron-looking motherfucker, and it's like, you only see him in a flashback. Sauron doesn't have a look anymore. No one knows what Sauron looks like.
Sauron is a Chozo ghost.
It's true. That's actually always kind of bugged me, is like that kind of like whole thing is like, you never actually see him. And for some reason that bugged me.
Because
Yeah?
nothing. I'm not gonna explain Lord of the Rings to you right now.
Also, this might be one of the missions where Keith... Yeah, you save Keith here just in case, but I don't think this is the important one. If Keith is like, I'ma die, you might want to go save him. Like right now.
すまんフォロー頼むいやダメだ自力でなんとか逃げ切れキース作戦はあの上のやつを落とすことを優先する分かったよいや落ちる
Darn, Keith might die, Sean. You might need to save him.
Oh no!
Whatever will you do?
Update target.
What, is that him back there behind me?
Yes. Blue dot all the way down to the ground, because he's way the fuck low. Yeah, I don't know why John Goodman came to mind, though. I really don't. I really don't. I feel... Like, what has Ron Perlman been other than Hellboy?
He's in Drive.
That's true. He usually plays a villain. Like,
Oh yeah, he's
honestly,
in Drive.
Hellboy is one of his few times he plays the protagonist. He's usually some sort of villain.
What's funny is the only other thing I've known Ron Perlman to be in was the Xbox 360 Turok game. He's just in there as himself, practically. The model even looks like Ron Perlman, because I guess Hellboy was super popular. That's the only reason why I could think he's in there. They just got him for prestige.
I don't think I'm gonna save Keith.
You got it. Dude, he's look at how many shots he's taken.
Yeah, that's
See?
good, right? We like that. We like him to take a lot of shots.
He's a tough boy. He's a tough boy.
He drinks a lot. He's taking a lot of shots.
Now, I find
Yeah.
it weird that we did that, because that is what I did last time.
I mean, this is just in case. That's why I was saying I think there's a second case that, like, explicitly you either have to follow Keith or something, but this is just in case. I don't know what would happen if you didn't save him.
So, Ron Perlman lore, right?
Yeah.
There's some fun stuff.
Hey.
He's 74 right now, which means he was at least 54 when doing Hellboy.
Sure.
Okay, he was already like deep in his 50s when playing like an action hero.
They needed a man made out of rocks. And Ron Perlman is a man who's made explicitly out of stone.
I don't know. That's really cool. Like I did not realize he was already like deep into his 50s. Like, and they made sequels. Like the sequels in 2008. Like he's approaching 60 and playing, you know, like an action hero. Like that's.
He told me Nice Landing, and then it was like, just kidding.
I have to save that. Holy shit.
Landing.
How, Sean? I didn't know that was possible. Fuck. That was amazing. You're a talented boy. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
This will be the last Ron Perlman thing I hit you with. Isaac, I'm surprised you don't remember Ron Perlman from Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He is in Monster Hunter,
Monster
isn't he?
Hunter movie.
Yeah.
He's the best
Famous-
part of that fucking movie. He's
famous
so
Tony
good.
Jaa.
Okay, Tony Jaa and Ron Perlman are the best parts of that movie. For very
And not
explicitly
Mia
opposite
Jovovich?
reason. No, absolutely not. I mean, she's fine as a goofy character person, but no. You do get to watch her get the living shit beaten out of her by Tony Jaa, which is really funny.
Tony Jaa's career makes me sad.
Yeah. What else has Tony Jaa done?
I mean, since The Protector, nothing noteworthy. He's had like bit roles in a handful of things, but he tried to do the whole like foreign action star come to America to make your big Hollywood break thing, and then he never made his big Hollywood break.
And then he got Monster Hunter.
So he's just been doing bit roles in B action movies like Monster Hunter.
Mhm.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It does.
情に流されるのも良いが、今の私は君に対して疑問を感じざるを得ない。
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Dijon, I get it.
Dijon doubts you. You're not gonna get the Dijon route at this rate, Sean. You
I
gotta,
struggle to believe that.
you gotta send him a birthday on his. You gotta send him a present on his birthday, or else he's gonna bomb you. Sean.
Uh-huh.
I would get there eventually.
I mean, I don't even know if I got his phone number yet. Can I call Kanji? Do I have time to call Kanji?
You gotta go call. You gotta go call the president of GR.
Regarding the recent act of terrorism by Axel Bay in an airship, the claim of responsibility has been attributed by some to the radical group Global Way. That's a really clumsy way to phrase that sentence.
I
The
think you say that every
claim
time.
of responsibility had been attributed by some to the radical group Global Way. But investigations suggest the reports were likely false. Neither the press release by Global Way's spokesman nor the reports by independent investigative committees of local police, DR or NC, have revealed the existence of an extremist cell within Global Way. This was reinforced the view that the act was committed by a new, as of yet, unidentified terrorist organization, making the case more difficult to solve.
What kind of joke character do you think Axel Bay is? Because it definitely sounds like a joke character in something.
Do you remember the old Brian David Gilbert Old Bay commercial?
Yes.
Axel Bay would be an Old Bay spokesman who does combat with the crab claw.
Yeah, I was thinking like he's like maybe got a punk rock aesthetic or something.
Sure, like a Axel Rose or
Yeah.
something. See, my point of reference for the name Axel is always Axel from Streets of Rage. So that's what I always think of. We gotta play Streets of Rage sometime.
Yeah, I've never played it.
It's
I feel
fun.
like Axel Bay would be an unlockable character in Guilty Gear.
Yes, totally. Dude, I think there might already be a Guilty Gear character named Axel. Am I
I
crazy?
think you're right. I think there is. Yeah. So it'd be like an alternate skin or something like that.
Yeah.
It'd be their beach episode outfit. Axel Bay.
Ooh.
You're
yeah.
close. It's Axel spelled without the E.
AXL. Yeah.
I mean,
Axel.
that counts, I think.
And
what
does
else
this-
is that name?
Dude, I remember. Yeah, dude, Axel fucking rocks. I love that guy. And would he not eat things with Old Bay in it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, Old Bay's delicious. Like we have Old Bay in our household all the time. The reason
I
for
blame
that is-
Savannah for that because she's from the East Coast.
yeah, absolutely. It's like
that's Savannah's fault.
yeah, I didn't have Old Bay until I adopted someone from the East Coast.
I
Uh-huh.
have still not had Old Bay.
It's quite good. It's sort of, it's not spicy, but it is just a lot of good spices. It's very flavorful.
It's savory. The term you're looking
Yeah.
for is savory.
Yeah.
Or wholesome, I guess. Or umami.
Also, it's not umami. It doesn't give you the like, but like people put it on like crabs, like crab meat and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like, yeah. It's very salty. But you don't. But it's not like you're eating salt. Like it doesn't taste like salt, but it just happens to be salty.
I mean, that could also come from the crab. They do live in the ocean. Unless it's a freshwater crab. Which I don't know
That's
where you
true.
got freshwater crab from.
In Texas? No, absolutely not. But no, it's just a bit of a salty set of spices.
A bit of a salty sailor.
Yeah.
Bit of a salty spice. Dude, salty
That's what he-
spice is my favorite spice, girl.
Salty Spice is my favorite brand of deodorant. I'm putting ramen though. It actually goes, to me personally, I feel like it goes like wonderfully in ramen.
It probably
That
goes
makes sense.
fantastic in shrimp ramen then. God, I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
had shrimp ramen in a long time. Every now and then I get a hankering to just have the most basicest of ramen in a bowl with a broth. I don't, it's not often. I usually actually like making a dish out of it, but every now and then I'm just like, I don't have the energy to put in anything more than the bare minimum of wet noodles. And sometimes it's just what I want and need, man.
Mm-hmm.
That said
Sometimes
today,
you're just a wet noodle.
sometimes I am just a wet noodle. That said today, I did not overcook. I did overproduce a meal today, guys. I did my classic. I took instant macaroni and cheese and made it not instant. Though it's still fucking cooked way faster than I expected it to. I did macaroni and cheese, I sliced up some tomato, some fresh tomato that we got from a friend of ours who grew tomatoes. I threw that into the cheese sauce and the macaroni all together, and then I sauteed some spam and Brussels sprouts and threw that in there too. It was delicious.
Tasty, yeah.
It was healthy for instant macaroni and cheese. It didn't have milk though, because I didn't want to buy milk just for macaroni and cheese, so I just used water.
Gross.
I added butter to the cheese sauce.
There's gotta be a less perishable milk alternative that isn't just water.
It's probably coconut milk. Maybe you should just use coconut milk in everything, because I like coconut milk a lot.
Maybe you should.
Yeah.
Emergency.
This might be it, Sean, because it's just you and Keith, and I think something happens. He's like, fuck this, and then you get the choice to follow him or not. Yeah,
We're getting
see,
the Keith ending?
yeah, it's the last one.
Nice. Nice.
And I'm going to be very curious what you guys think of it, because it's probably my favorite ending in the game, and it's very strange.
I'm into it. I didn't know that Keith was a big enough character to warrant his own ending.
He literally has a face. If you have a face in this game, you're at least important enough to have a full playthrough at some point, regardless of how long it
has
is.
an ending.
Yeah, but isn't there another?
Eric doesn't have one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eric has a face and he doesn't have an ending.
You're right. Why does Eric have an ending? That's a fair point. I don't know why Eric doesn't have an ending.
He's not as cool as Keith.
Yeah, I guess.
True.
What's funny is that Eric is kind of a cool character. Like, I don't know, he just appears. Actually, that doesn't make him that cool of a character. I don't know why I said that.
Are those the only 6? What's up?
I'm just gaggling. I'm just gaggling.
You're good. Are those the only 6 characters that have a face in this game? Like Cynthia, Fiona.
That's like named characters that you interact with, yeah.
Yeah, Rena.
I mean, I guess Simon has a. Simon also has a face. Arguably, Simon is in every playthrough, and I won't elaborate on that.
He's some meta man. He's just like he understands the time stream.
Yeah. Sean playing chicken with the ground again as usual.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Sean. The ground will win every time.
Not every time, as noted by every previous stream that I've played.
That's fair.
I have power over the ground.
Reaper says that they love asking questions about obscure things that nobody would know about. Did we miss a question, or am I dumb? You should, if you're thinking of one, Creeper, you should do it, because whether or not we have... I would never say we wouldn't be able to answer anything about an obscure thing. We would try. I would try. I just can't tell you it would be a good answer. Guys, we never...
Isaac will answer. Isaac will open his mouth and make words come out.
It's true. Guys,
Words will happen.
we never said what our video game hells would be. And I think
Right,
mine...
Go for it, go for it.
I think mine is like it's just bad rats. That would be hell. It's just everything wrong. It's just everything wrong.
Talking about video game hell and video game heaven, I never figured out the heaven one either, because I was thinking like maybe Animal Crossing, but even then you start a game and you're just in debt. Like you're just
Yeah, it's just real life. It's just cozy, but it is real life.
Yeah, it's cozy real life. I mean, granted, it's a zero interest debt, so maybe that is heaven actually.
It's a zero interest debt that you could pay off with fish. Fuck yes, I would live in that. That's heaven.
You know, we circled back around. I can work with that kind of debt.
It's a zero interest debt that you could pay off with fish and literal dinosaur bones.
And there's no due date. Like I could pay it between now and the end of time. Like if I
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
That's a wall.
All right, so
Lost
Crossing.
focus.
Animal Crossing would probably be heaven. As far as hell, Castlevania 64. I don't live
Yeah.
in that world.
With the graphics, that is how you would have to
Yeah.
live too, is with the graphics.
I'd be hella polygon.
Fuck, I would love to live in the graphics of Wind Waker. That's what, like, even if it's a post-apocalypse with a potential end to it, I'd be happy to live in here, and I'm pretty sure Link has got it, and if not, I really enjoyed this. So I get to go to heaven again. Somewhere else. Probably.
You
But
just
I
cycle
really
through
don't believe in heaven.
You just cycle through like various Zelda games until you find one where Link succeeded in doing the thing.
Exactly. Essentially, all I'm saying is, what game would you want to be an NPC in Heaven and Hell? And by that metric, you wouldn't even, if you weren't even the main character of Animal Crossing, you don't even have debt. They don't have debt. They just move in. And
Yeah, they don't even have. Yeah, exactly. No debt. They just come along and they just eat your vegetables, and they're just like, "Hey, I'm visiting your island. Hi."
I was gonna say, if anything, Jackson, you would be like in somebody else's world, and the worst that would happen to you is if, for whatever reason, a person didn't like you, they would just hit you with a bug net over and over again until you fucking left and went to somebody else's town. That is awful, though. That is a form of hell, though. Maybe there's a version of Animal Crossing hell where that happens to every town you go to. It's
emotional. It's emotional hell.
Uh-huh.
It's like, this doesn't harm me physically, but the fact that every person I meet hates me.
They look like they're physically harmed by being hit by the bug net too. They don't like it when you do that. But
That's
it is
fair.
a way to get people to leave. That has always been a very funny mechanic to me. Animal Crossing is such a weird game in a lot of ways. I've always been fascinated with it and wanted to try to do. If I ever was at it, I don't think I'm at a place at this yet, but I've always liked the idea of I play Animal Crossing either every day or almost every day for a year to document an entire year's worth of classic Animal Crossing, just because I always liked the idea of it, and even as a kid, I never really did it. I grew up on that OG shit. I remember when Chip used to be an asshole who ate your fish. Now he's just a nice, weird beaver guy. I remember when Chip was an asshole. There are seemingly a lot of classic Animal Crossing characters who are just kinda dickheads. Mr. Rossetti is literally a guy who was programmed to yell at you because Mr. Miyamoto wanted to claim that you were cheating. But he is. I do love Rossetti. He's fucking terrifying, though.
I love the specificity of he wanted to claim that you're cheating.
Uh-huh. I also like Dan, too. Dan's pretty funny. I don't think people know Dan as well as they know Mr. Rossetti, though. I think it's because Dan doesn't get as mad at you. Dan appears whenever you change the date. And the game notices that. It's really scary, though. I think the game can notice when you do shit like that.
Yeah, that is fascinating.
It's like they cache it, right? Like, they almost cache that the game has been reset. It's incredible that they have that. I mean, I guess if it's their home console, they'd have the ability to do that. It's just weird.
Yeah.
See, Creeper Cat is definitely the kind of Animal Crossing player who hits the animals they don't like in the head with a bug net until they leave. Unless you mean you just want that. But you saying that does make it sound like you would do that. Oh no, not Carl Nasimo. We definitely know who this guy is. Or Nascimento?
Nascimento.
死因もどうやら人工心臓のネットワークに接続されていた自動制御プログラムが何らかの原因で暴走した。
Well, I said my heaven earlier would be Battle Chef Brigade. I'll go with
テロの可能性も含め、当社では大規模な調査が現在も行われています。
I'll go with Roller Drum for Hell just because it's a corporate nightmare.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know, Sean. Hell for you could be Final Fantasy VIII.
I like the setting of Final Fantasy VIII. All of the stuff I hate about Final Fantasy VIII has nothing to do with the setting.
That's fair. I was just thinking Hell would be having to interact with all those people that suck.
It's mostly
Then
the
again,
mechanic.
for all I know, Leon's the only part that actually really sucks, and he just sucks that bad.
Well, and he's not like an asshole. It's not like a chance encounter with him would ruin my day.
He's just a main character that's not interested in his own game.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He's like, I could play my own video game, but you know, that's so much effort.
It will rise.
I feel like my hell, this would be Disco Elysium, just because, like, look at that world. Who actually wins in that world besides, like, Everard, and he's gonna die of a heart attack in like the next 5 minutes.
I don't know if Everard wins, though. Yeah. He's a bastard, man.
I mean, he seems to be winning.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I would be too tempted to go out into the pale.
One man's heaven is another man's hell, you know what they say.
いつの時代でも人間は欲のためにしか生きる術を学べない愚かな生き物でしかないのか。
Ishin's giving his big monologue.
It is interesting to think that Dijon says all of these things, and in a certain sense, when you have the context that he admits that he didn't want any of this, that he's really just trying to cope. He's really just trying to cope, which is pretty fucking upsetting.
Yeah, because he's definitely in the Electrosphere right now. Like, look at that background. But I wonder, I actually am starting to doubt that he's been in the Electrosphere the whole time, because I saw in an earlier cutscene, he just had like metal in the background. He just looked like he had like regular, like it just looked like a regular place that he was standing around at.
There's an insinuation that the Dijon in the Electrosphere is not the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
His brain was downloaded into the computer, but he still is a guy with a brain, though.
Gotcha. Hilariously enough, Final Fantasy XIV also is apparently derivative as heck, because they also did that exact same concept. You meet a character in the most recent expansion where their whole brain and body and soul's in a robot, and you're like, dang, that's kind of cool, I guess. And then later on, you meet the memory, like the recreated memories of this character, and it's like, oh, I just met a part of you earlier.
I mean, it's a scary concept.
Yeah.
The future is now, Sean.
End of file. Connection terminated. Connection cannot be restored.
I also find it interesting that it specifies that is a file, not a message.
ここ最近まるで誰かが俺たちとニューコムをどうにかして全面戦争に持っていきたがっているとしか思えない。まったく誰が何のためにこんなことを。 どう考えたってこんな偶然が何度も続くなんておかしいんじゃないか。なあ。
He's figuring it all out.
もちろん俺たちがいくらそんなことを言っ
He's
ても
Jimmy Neutron brain blasting the situation. He's busted it wide open. There's a conspiracy.
ああそうだ。
Guys, I don't know if you knew, I have conspiracies about this video game. This game is founded on conspiracies.
まあ楽しくやろうぜ。
I will say, like, genuinely, I think one of the things that makes this game's narrative work is that there is this overarching feeling that there's a tangible conspiracy. I can't think of a game that gets you engaged with an actual conspiracy that I can think of on the level that this game does.
Disco Elysium?
Oh, that's fair. That's literally got a conspiracy in it. You're right.
I'm just being silly.
Am I crazy? Would that not be considered a conspiracy? Literally everything that happens in that game?
Oh yeah, for sure. I just wanted to say it again because I'd like just mentioned that game being hell. I think that is like just to rope back around that one more time. I really do think that might be the most depressing game I can think of. Like I don't.
But you meet such. You
What
meet.
about Papers, Please?
Oh yeah,
Oh man,
that's fucking. I love that game. Yeah, I definitely would not want to live in that world.
yeah.
It's a bad time.
Yeah.
Also, that's good to hear then, Creeper. I'm sorry if it sounded like I assumed that you would. I did assume that you would, so I apologize. It was for a funny joke, I swear. It wasn't because I thought you would actually hit your fucking villagers with a bug net. Maybe you will now. Maybe if you didn't know you could do that. Nah. I don't think I ever did that. I don't think I did.
But
You hit
I
the
had
gun, not the ship. You destroyed the
target.
You destroyed the deck gun, and now you shot down a helicopter. What was it doing to you? It didn't even do nothing.
It was body blocking.
Oh no! Creeper Cat is absolutely going to start hitting villagers with a net now. Shit.
Am I?
I think it's still kind of inside the tunnel. Yeah. It is coming out, but I think you're barely hitting the top of the tunnel. It's fine. You can do that exactly one more time.
As far as the whole Papers, Please versus Disco Elysium, yeah, actually, you're right. I would choose to live in Disco Elysium, I would choose to live in Disco Elysium because Disco Elysium is depressing, but Papers, Please is stressful and depressing. Like, it's just a very stressful world to be in.
What, you don't want to live in an authoritarian state while a war is actively happening?
No.
Is that too real?
I was like, man, that's actually pretty real.
I do love that
Can
game,
you get
though.
that fucking mountain though?
You fucked it right up, man. You trust it. You didn't even need to lock that mountain. You got that mountain.
It'll think twice before threatening me again.
They say throw hands, but I say throw rocks.
Throw a rock.
I say throw rocks.
Slap ground.
Smack ground upon thine face and say, eat dirt, shithead.
Faint plane sounds from the game make it sound like your Switch is overheating.
It's fine. Dude, you when your plane gets hot enough, it will turn into an airplane. I guarantee it. It'll fly. You just chuck it right. It'll start vibrating, and that's how you know you gotta chuck it out the window before it immediately turns into a fighter jet and completely annihilates your bedroom.
Yeah, but if you hold on to it, you might be able to fly with it.
That's fair. You gotta really angle yourself towards the window then. You just gotta be really careful. And if you do that and hear, like, you know, a car screech, that means you were just that close to it turning into a plane, because that means it hit the car instead. Or it nearly hit the car. Depending on if you hear another sound, it could not have hit the car. You know, safety first. Man, I know that you're not, like, I'm sure that this is still a thing, and I bet I've completely annihilated my Switch's battery, because I just leave it on its dock for days at a time.
I don't know if that's bad. Couldn't tell you.
It depends.
Most modern things have... What the hell? Why didn't that work? Most modern things have safety mechanisms to prevent like amp power going through if it's already full.
That's good. I'm glad we've overcome that design fault of 90% of laptops for the last decade.
All longer than the last decade.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, as far as I know, generally you don't have to worry too much about that.
That's good. Because, yeah, I mean, like, things not having a replaceable battery like that is kind of alarming to me. That should just be more things should have replaceable components. They should.
Just go down to your local Radio Shack and pick up a battery for it.
Well, you have a problem with that, Jackson. Radio Shack don't exist no more.
Can I get a replaceable Radio Shack?
Yeah,
Please.
you need to go down to your local Best Buy and buy a Radio Shack.
Uh-huh. Depends. I feel like I do try to, and they usually just turn out to be bad hypotheticals. Would you say that's a fair assessment? I would say I try to ask questions about obscure things, and 9 times out of 10, you guys just go, Isaac, what the fuck are you talking about?
Only when it comes to Ron Perlman or something like that. Like it's
Or John Goodman.
yeah.
Who is the same person in my brain, apparently.
Ron Goodman.
The question is, what other Johns do you consider to be the same person? Do you think John Cusack is the same guy?
John Badman.
John Madden. And John Goodman are different people. And John Cusack, I should know what he
No, you
looks
shouldn't.
like.
It's really
Okay,
not
never-
worth the effort.
Never mind.
It's a bit of an emotional vampire.
例の答えをここで聞かせてもらう。いいか。
Here you go. Yeah, follow Keith here, I think,
こ
Sean.
れより私はこの戦線から一気に離脱する。
Yeah, I remember this now.
このまま後についてこい。
Jackson, have you seen What We Do in the Shadows, the show or the movie?
No, I haven't.
It's
Oh, really?
really, oh my god, we do. I'm gonna start making a list of shit finally that we need to watch, and I would say that we have to watch next. That movie is so fucking good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I need to catch up on the show.
And the show is very, very good too. I was watching it with Lauren and Ari, and it's really good. It's just
I think the last season I saw was season 2.
yeah. I don't know if we finished season 1. I think we did. It's so funny you bring that up though, Jackson, because is that a colloquialism? Because I thought that was just a bit from that show, Sean.
I'm pretty sure it's just a bit from that show.
Okay.
What bit? What club?
Emotional
Emotional
vampire.
It's a real
that's
thing.
that's
fucking
just a
show.
colloquialism.
It's a real thing in that show, and it's really fucking funny.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I didn't hear about it from that show. That's just a that's just a phrase that I don't frequently use. But yeah, it's just a phrase that I think is somewhat commonplace.
Yes, it is a. I won't say how they do it, but it is a concept in that show, and it's really fucking funny. And I have never, I haven't heard of it outside of the show, so I just was genuinely like, I didn't know if that was just a real term or not that people have used before.
Yeah, it's a bit mean-spirited. Like, it's a very unkind way to say that someone's emotionally draining, but
You would love this show then, Jackson. There's an entire character about that. And it's really funny. He's really good. He's so fucking good. I love him. He's such a good character.
Mm-hmm.
He's really funny.
All right. Are y'all ready for the final stretch?
Dude, I'm ready, man. I'm excited. This might be the end of it. I believe, Sean. I believe.
And after this, we're done streaming. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. You all can finally start crying.
Where's Dijon gonna go from here? Well, he's gonna become a big blimp. Is the thing.
I like the
Yeah,
idea that you tell him that. He's like, I don't fucking. What are you talking about?
It is pretty consistent. Most of the time, if he's not in cyberspace that we're fighting him, he's just Big Blimp. He's either Big Blimp or cyberspace. No in between.
This thing's got me messed up.
It's messed up in the head. In the hizzy.
In the
Has anybody used in the hizzy?
No.
like unironically recently.
Yeah.
Not since at least 1994.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't even remember the context for that.
That sounds like some Eminem speak, you know?
I maybe knew like a couple kids in like middle school who used hizzy. I was like, don't
And that's
say
just because they
that.
heard it on MTV once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
はい、スタジオです。ここでもう一度今までの情報を整理し
Back to the studio. That's fine.
本日午後、ユージアのポートエドワーズでゼネラルリソースとニューコムが交戦状態に突入しました。そしてその戦いは
Whoa!
There's a war going on
新
now.
国際連合では事態を解決するため
Reaper's summoning a goober. Aw, jeez.
Exactly. You should have known. You should have known.
系列の報道機関では現在放送内容についてキーワード検閲が配信システムに組み込まれたとの発表がありました。このような大規模な報道規制が施行されるのは初めてのことで
What's
す。
funny is, in a certain sense, Hydrate Man gives us the opportunity to both drink water and focus on the story.
それではここで
Oh, I looked away.
傍受した映像を無検閲でご覧いた
I
だ
have
き
to give all of my attention to Hydrate Man. He's a commanding presence.
He is, yeah.
It's true. You can't look away. You can't look away.
限界を超えてもらうための技術
He is one of God's biblical angels. He is one of God's biblically accurate angels.
これは生命を解放するために行われる革命である。
Will I go to hell for saying that?
今こそここに
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah, probably, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's some kind of blaspheming.
それこそが
Yeah.
我々の生命を次世代に進化させる唯一無二の真実である。この技術は夢ではない。その証拠に一つの例をご覧いただくことにしよう。
It was One Piece all along,
ビ
guys.
ジョン
I
Monkey!
この男
Yeah,
は10年前
Monkey.
にゼネ
Well, I was really dumb, by the way, because like, remember the other day, I think we were, I don't think we were actually streaming, but
にもかかわらず
we were like, who names their kid Monkey? And I was like, well, there is Luffy. Monkey's their last name.
Oh, yeah.
It is Luffy D. Monkey.
Well, he goes by Monkey D. Luffy, but like he has like a ton of family in that show. Like he has like his grandfather, I think, is like Monkey D. I think his father's like Monkey D. Dragon, and
Yeah, it's
In his-
Japanese style.
yeah, it's Japanese style.
I actually kind of like when stuff does that, where it like keeps naming conventions like consistent, even though it just is because it was, you know, originally Japanese. It somehow does make it a little bit more like fantastical that they one for one translated it.
Yeah. Yeah, I still call him Luffy because that's his actual first name, but
Makes
yeah.
it feel like it's from the far off land, the mystical realm of Japan.
Pirates. Wait.
Yeah.
Discord user Crablos gives an L response. What?
Oh no! What have you
Crablos.
done, Silos? What have you done? Ooh. I don't know what Andrew Gaming ARG is, unfortunately, so I cannot answer that either. Creeper, I'm sorry.
ただこれだけは言っておこうゼネラルリソースニューコムユーピオといった組織が保持している軍隊とたった今も行われている交戦は我々が望む革命にとって入り口そう我々にとって真実の敵とはゼネラルリソースニューコムましてユーピオなどといった権力ではないこの革命が完成するとき我々がいや
Ah, yes, his speech about how we'll all have powers. What are you, Syndrome? At least he was cool.
That's a pretty nice bull, though. When everyone's super, nobody is.
When everyone is downloaded into the Matrix, no one is. That's just Transistor.
It's true. They always forget about the people that have to stay behind to maintain the servers, though. Like, just imagine if, like...
That's what the robots are for.
Oh, that's a good point.
They just manage the servers from the inside.
I would love to deconstruct the idea that two people were downloaded into the servers and then they met and they had a baby. So then you have, like, this, like... born inside the server baby. Like, how does that look in terms of data? How does that look in terms of, like, server natives, you know? It's like the next generation's born from the inside.
Yeah. How does... That's something I feel like is underexplored in science fiction, at least in the science fiction I'm familiar with. Is like,
yeah.
A lot of stories sort of touch on the idea of a, like, post-physical body world, but none of them really address the question of what
the
generations look like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I guess good luck with this fucking mission, Sean.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Kill everyone.
Yeah, it's a lot of red on the screen.
Well, at least I got game.
Dude, you have game.
Yeah, game,
Bro,
dude.
you got game. Look at that thing. Dude, this plane actually is really cool. Oh, dude, it's got your favorite missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Missiles.
Missile.
Betrayal!
He's wasting him.
I'm wasting time if it's the last thing I do.
Ah, dude, you have to beat TK. Look, you got a score on the right. Like it's a video game.
Am I playing Wingman for Keith? Is my job literally to clear out all the mooks so that Keith can kill Fusion?
Maybe. Man, you've reminded me of the term mook. Forgot about that. Also, it's very weird that there's been no music. Wait. Don't worry about that.
Uh-huh. I'm a little worried.
Color me worried.
Really wish we had a translation for any of this that's going on.
Yeah.
This is like an involved conversation.
Tim, we need you.
Tim, we need you to listen to this to tell us what it is.
私が見える？
俺と違う。お前は誰だ？
私が見える？
It seems cool.
I recognize Dijon. I think I recognize Rena?
That was what I was hearing as well.
That or wait, is this might be, remember that cutscene where you see Dijon's body with that lady? That might be that recording playing in the background. Or something like it.
Maybe. I haven't taken any damage.
I actually, again, it's a shame that it wasn't in English, but I love the idea that they made that a point that would distract the player and the game calling you out for being distracted by it for a very, like, intentional character thing. Like, that's cool. I've never thought about that. I really liked that. It's a shame we didn't understand any of it, but it's still, like, again, like, what the fuck is this game about flying planes? There's just nothing like it. Even inside of Ace Combat, there is nothing like it.
Yeah, they really chilled out with the existentialism a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
After this.
Yeah, if there's any game that I'd be like, I don't know, Namco. Namco really hasn't been on a remake. What has fucking Namco even been doing? What does Namco even do anymore?
That's an amazing question.
Produce
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls series stuff.
Yeah.
So, 'cause I want to say Bamco just at this point just does the localization stuff. Like I think they produce and localize. And I want to say that From Software is the developer, and they just released it over in Japan.
Yeah. I don't know if the Team Aces even has an association with Bandai Namco anymore.
Might not. I mean, if they grew big enough to do their own, well, even From Software is big enough to do their own localizing if they wanted. There's a really fascinating thing though. So cultural differences, right? With like Japan, for example, partnerships between corporations are a huge deal, and breaking those are extreme. Well, without like a really good reason, are extremely taboo. Like you get a lot of social backlash for breaking agreements and partnerships between corporations. One such example they got huge was, oh man, I believe it was. I want to say Natsume. Basically, Harvest Moon. It was like Natsume and is Marvelous? No, I should remember the two companies. So I don't even have the punchline of the story. The point is there was a big hubbub about the partnership over Harvest Moon being broken up, and yeah.
Huh. I did not know that.
And it would have been a better story if I could have at least remembered the name of both the companies.
Huh. But yeah, as far as I can tell, Bandai Namco still, like, it's just, you know, a development team under Bandai Namco is the team who's behind, you know, Ace Combat, and that they're still in association. They haven't done anything since Ace Combat 7, as far as I know.
Yeah, when did Ace Combat 7 come out?
Oh my god. It's been at least 6 years now. It's kind of an old game at this point.
Really, that long? Because I felt like it. Man, I haven't.
Yep, 2019, so 5 years.
Okay, that's a little bit more. Yeah.
Because I got it when
like,
it was brand new.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Like, I remember seeing advertisements and stuff on Steam for that. Like, that's. I didn't think it was that old already.
I mean, how old's the PlayStation 5 is already 3 years old, right?
I think it's 4 years old.
Yeah. Jeez, dude.
And that game came out on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One.
Goodness.
Though I don't even know what the Xbox One Series X is or what it means. Is it their equivalent of the PS5? I don't even understand consoles anymore.
Yes, Series X is the PS5.
Yeah,
For Xbox. Except for the Series S, which is a kind of poorly thought out product.
I mean,
Yeah, the man, like, I appreciate PlayStation pretty much keeping it simple because it's impossible to follow the naming scheme of the Xbox series.
Well, you know, we've got the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm. And then
Those are
after all
different
those,
consoles, and it's fine.
yeah, and then after that comes the 360 because that has the highest number. Because like I figure as soon as they release the Xbox One, oh no, all right. Because I was about to be like, okay, now they're starting a number system, so they're going to go to the Xbox Two.
That would somehow be even more confusing.
Yeah.
yeah, because the
But
Xbox 360 is Xbox 2.
Yes.
So-
The Xbox One is the Xbox 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Xbox is the Xbox One.
Yep. That's. Huh.
Does
Yeah,
anyone know why they called it 360? It wasn't even round.
Like 360 no scope. I don't know. The analog sticks, maybe.
The circle button on the front of the Xbox.
I feel like maybe because even analog sticks were like those were on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
It's not like they invented new analog sticks for the 360.
Who's this commander?
He's the commander of VR.
Well, I beat Keith. I don't know if that mattered.
I don't know if that mattered either. Yes.
Would you use a controller that was just like 8 analog sticks? Like you have to have like a couple spots to place some fingers for stability, but the entire controller is just analog sticks.
No, I'm like thinking about that, like even for inputs that aren't analog input. Like you say that, and arguably I should say yes, because I love the PlayStation 2 controller and the GameCube controller, which is exactly what you just described, but those still had buttons. The buttons just had analog variability to them, not actual sticks. I feel like people forget about that all of the there was a time where controllers were fucking insane, and like every single button on the PlayStation controller was gushy because they actually all had variable input ingrained into every single button on that thing.
That's true. I want to say the PlayStation 3 controller had it was like the 3 or 4. Actually, I think it was the PS4 controller. Though the PS3 controller had it too, I think. Where there was a buddy playing like a shooter arcade game, and depending on like how hard you held the button down, was like how quickly you shot, you know, how quickly you were shooting.
I've always liked that kind of stuff. That's the reason why I'm like, you don't get weird control schemes like Metal Gear Solid, and arguably it's really hard to design a game that works that way now because the standard no longer is to have controllers with that kind of variable input in the buttons. Yeah. Like, I have this faux, GameCube controller, not even the triggers have a variable input on them. I love it, but I would like it to have variable inputs because I still think that's a novel concept, but it's definitely not the standard.
Yeah. It'd be cool, like, for your angling right, angling left, even on this game, when you're, like, trying to just slightly tilt right or left. If that had, like, variability to it, to where you could just kind of do harder turns or softer turns based on how much you held the button.
I mean, I think even the PlayStation 1, at least some of the buttons, maybe the shoulder buttons, because the shoulder buttons of the PlayStation controller were always kind of gushy for that, right? Like, they always were very resistive.
PlayStation 1, I don't
I think the buttons were just bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. They just used pillows for buttons.
Yeah, the original PlayStation 1 controller launched with no analog sticks whatsoever. Like analog sticks was like a crazy revolution, which is a fascinating thing because then like you had like some PS1 games that had like partial analog control stick support, or even like Ape Escape, which required an analog stick controller, PS1 controller. So if you didn't own one, you'd have to go out and buy one just to be able to play Ape Escape.
Also, yes, Creeper Cat, you are correct. The way you make a family is not family friendly. It's family unfriendly. Family comes from an unfriendly place.
We'll talk about family cum right now.
Yeah, that's
No.
that was an unfortunate word phrasing.
You really hit it hard too.
Oh no.
I've mentioned this before, but I don't know why my brain brand is double entendre. I don't know where they come from.
God damn it.
He just loves to hit that word as hard as he
It
can.
does.
I like that word, I'm sorry. What word would you use, okay? I'm sorry.
His favorite gas station is the Come and Go.
Uh-huh.
Come and Go is a very funny place. I love this.
Spelled K-U-M even, like it's...
Uh-huh. Now they.
We recently got a Casey's in my town, so that's cool.
Moving up in the world.
Yeah.
Brahms are slowly coming into Kansas. There's a couple. I think there's like a Brahms near Wichita, actually.
Dude, I do love Brahms. They are the best, like, ice cream kind of store. Like, they're better. I feel like they're better than Dairy Queen.
Yeah, they're really good. I like their shakes.
Yeah. And the fact that they have, like, a grocery store section is just kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah. It's like, come get your Dairy Queen-esque, you know, burger and shake, and then just, like, buy some novelty ice cream on the way out the door, because they have their specialized flavors, too. Sponsor us, Brahms.
Please.
I was gonna say, y'all gonna make me want to eat a fucking hamburger and a milkshake.
Yeah.
Don't you know you're supposed to get the chalky milkshake and dip the fries in it or something?
Yeah. Have you never done that?
I liked it. It was okay.
It was okay. I've never got the obsession myself, but I've tried it, and it's like, it's okay.
Same thing with honey and pizza. There's a place here in Moritz. They give you honey cups to eat your pizza with, and I tried it, and I was like, yeah, it's just like a nice, you eat the crust with it, like it's a breadstick. Nice.
I've never heard of that.
No, yeah, and I don't think I've heard of it either. Also, I did like the fact that, like, the milkshake gets, like, greasy and salty, slightly, you know, like, 'cause you get, of course, the milkshake on the fry, which is what you want, but then you get fry in your milkshake, and I'm like, I don't want this part.
What kind of fucking fries do you eat that they, like, disintegrate like that? They really don't do that, I promise. I've done it. They don't do that.
I don't know, man.
It's all going to the same place.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give some time delay between my grease and my ice cream.
Don't talk about how much time you put between laying.
What?
What?
I'm not good at this.
No one said anything like that.
Time delay.
How do I make double entendres out of other people trying to point out that other people are making double entendres?
It wasn't even a double entendre. It was just nonsense.
Emergency.
Emergency. Everything's an emergency with you. Pineapple on pizza or peanut butter on a burger? I mean, I would eat both of those. Those are both. Pineapple on pizza is a thing that I know I like, and peanut butter on a burger are two things that I love that sound like they would go great together.
If
I would
remember,
100% would try peanut butter on a burger.
In fact, I already was starting to want a burger. I now want a burger even more just so I can try putting peanut butter on it.
there
Like,
was
Yeah.
there was a there was a hot dog place that I lived near when I was like
You're a
all the way
hot
up
dog.
until high school. I am. It was my favorite restaurant. It was called New York Dog Pound, I believe, or something.
Whoa.
And
really
they made their own hot dogs, and they had these like specialty hot dog like mixes, and they had a hot dog that was bacon and peanut butter, and it was fucking great. They put bacon and peanut butter on the hot dog, and I loved it.
Bacon and peanut butter is a surprisingly more common mixture than I would have expected. Like that's not the first time I've heard those mixed together.
Yeah, bacon and peanut butter is like the most American food that ever American.
Yeah.
No. Another they also just had a breakfast dog that was a bacon, egg, and cheese on a hot dog. So
I would
fucking
love-
good.
I would 100% if it could be made this way, I would eat a hot dog where the bun is a waffle and you just put like some maple syrup on that.
Yeah, that does sound really good. Fuck, you're making me hungry.
I wasn't
Wait.
hungry like 45 seconds ago, but like now
Now
like,
I'm gonna have to
dang.
go. Now I'm gonna go have to eat because I didn't eat all of my macro. I only ate like half of it, and if it's still in the fridge, I might just go grab it and start eating the rest of my dinner. God, that.
And you can put like little crumbly bacon, like little bacon bits kind of deal on that too if you want.
You expected me to just fucking leave and go fry some bacon? You think I just have bacon on hand right now?
I meant on your breakfast dog.
Oh yeah.
On this theoretical dog we're making.
Honestly, now that I've like brought that up, I've been trying to like. I was just thinking today. I was like, I like what I eat for breakfast, but I have been eating a lot of eggs and bacon. I should mix it up a little bit. Next time I have the opportunity, I might start just trying my own home version of because it's not gonna take long to make a hot dog. Like I just literally put it on a skillet and then cook it until it's seared, and I put it in the oven for another like 10 minutes. It doesn't take long. And I should just do that and throw some peanut butter and some bacon on top of it. That sounds really good.
Yeah. Honestly, you can't go wrong with the eggs and bacon because I feel like I eat too many carby things, and I would just like to have more meat and less carb in my diet. Which
I'm
is
mad. I messed up, or I didn't mess up. I went to the grocery store today, and my most recent like less than 6-minute egg and bacon thing has been I take a hash brown, a pre-made hash brown that they were selling. They were just like in the shape of McDonald's hash browns, like pre-made.
Yeah.
I would take one because they were like in a pack of like 12. I would take one, I would put it in the air fryer, and then I would cook a bacon and an egg in like little. I would take the bacon and make it into like a circle square, and then crack the egg into the center of it. And then I would, when the hash brown was done in 6 minutes, I would just put the egg and bacon on the hash brown. And I don't.
wow.
I went today, and they don't sell the fucking hash browns anymore. I'm mad. I have to make my own hash browns now, guys. That takes work. Ugh.
Dude, it does take work, and I'm notoriously bad. Like, I don't think I've ever successfully made a batch of hash browns. I realized what it was I mean, I haven't tried in years, but like the last time I tried to make hash browns, I realized one of the biggest mistakes was just putting too many hash browns on the grill or on the skillet. You gotta make a lighter amount, otherwise it gets all mushy and then like it doesn't cook evenly and it's just bad.
Yep. Just throw a handful of them suckers on there, let them cook. Throw another handful if you want more, but just a handful at a time.
Yeah, handful definitely. So I may try it again at some point in my life.
Close. Ooh, that was a fun spin you did, though.
Thank you.
Creeper is glad to have made us hungry, you son of a gun.
相棒やっぱり現れたなさあ
Now we're all hungry and this is your fault.
Scramble.
Creeper, if you want to deliver us some food, that would be
You
Chill.
can send me a pizza. You can send me a pizza.
P.O. Box Canaria pizza.
I'll get it in the morning, I guess. I wonder if anybody is like P.O. boxed like a delivery for like Pizza Hut or something. Surely somebody's tried because human beings are stupid and awful.
I wouldn't be surprised, like it, because like I know that you do like P.O. Box for famous people for like anonymity, like if people like YouTubers or something like that are like, hey, send this, send fan mail to this P.O. Box so that I can open it on the next video or whatever. I mean, yeah, if it's real time enough, I don't see why not necessarily. Besides the fact that the people at the post office would be very upset at the idea of food being put in one of their boxes.
Uh-huh. Well, you don't mail a pizza though. Do you?
Why not?
Can you?
Well, you'd probably
You can mail whatever you want.
You mail, that's true. Yeah, you could try. But you would probably
Why is this letter greasy?
Mhm. If I were taking this challenge seriously, I would probably try to look up the city where their P.O. box is located to call a local restaurant or order online or something like that and have the delivery just be delivered to that P.O. box. So at least it would be fresh.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, is when you order pizza, you're not like ordering it to be mailed. I guess you would. What would happen if you gave a pizza delivery service a PO box? How would they respond? Would they just cancel the order and be like, "You idiot! This is a PO box, not a home address"?
Well, probably, but
I guess that's not the funny answer, though, right?
yeah.
Guys, send a
I have
pizza to this PO box, and we'll tell you what happens. I guess.
I have been on both the giving and receiving end of weird suggestions for places to meet. Like once upon a time, for example, I worked at Jimmy John's back in our hometown area, and their whole motto is "freaky fast" because they have a freaky short delivery range. You can only deliver within 1 mile of the store.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not that far. So we've literally made the offer to people to be like, hey, if you want to meet us at the corner of this, like this is the closest corner that we deliver to
You
us. If you
have
want
a
to
pizza dealer?
No. I just mean like for customers.
Yes.
Like, they're like, hey,
You are
Thank
the
you,
pizza
John.
dealer.
yeah. So like they'll be like, hey, can you deliver to my house? And it's like, no, but if you want to meet us at like, at the corner of this and this street, this is the farthest we can go, and then you can just pick it up from there.
That's a pizza dealer, Jackson.
Yeah.
You're describing a pizza dealer.
Yeah. Can please someone inform me what this ARG is, because I must have missed it and I need to know.
ライトレーベンと戦闘機が脱出したのを確認した。直ちにこれを捕捉し、追撃する。
Creeper mentioned an ARG titled Andrew Gaming, which I've never heard of. I do not know what that is. We might check it out. I like ARGs a lot.
Update target.
Yeah.
Well, time to find Reed again. John, have fun. You love this fight, right? That's not Rena, that's an SU-43, you goober.
Yeah, well, I'm at 59% damage, so I'll take whatever target I can get.
That's fair.
Fucking Dijon's boat likes to shoot his gun at you. He's like the only enemy in this game who actually wants to hurt you.
His machine gun is very scary when it suddenly just decides to rip you in literal half. Can we have like a video game version of the word literal? I guess mechanical?
Video game version of the word literal.
I mean, it's literal within the fiction of the game.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were you saying? Jack said it to me to talk over you.
Oh no, I was just gonna say something dumb. I was trying to think of.
Say it. That's what this platform is for, my
I
guy.
was just thinking about like whether there was. Well, Isaac, is there ever an Ace Combat? Because like he talked about being at 59% damage, and I was like, man, it'd be cool if you could get some health back somehow. And then I was like, well, it wouldn't make any sense unless you had like nano machines auto repairing your plane over time, or I don't know, man. But then I thought about it, I was like, well, ignoring the narrative, has there ever been an Ace Combat where you do have damage restoration during a mission, or?
Yes, in the sense
Really?
that you not active. It's technically passive. It's not not passive. It is active. There have been Ace Combats where they had the gimmick that you could go land to restock, rearm, and I believe it heals you in the process.
Really?
I believe.
In the middle of a
Yeah.
mission? Wow.
Yeah. You just go. The missions were that big that you'd run out of ammo and you'd have to go get more ammo.
Gotcha.
Hurry up!
Oh, I guess
Yeah, I've
this
only
is
got a minute
fine.
left.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Isaac's not paying attention.
Apparently not. I didn't feel like you were like going slow though. I was like, hurry up! What?
You know, it's just arena mission, so it has to suck ass.
Yeah, that's fair. You're not wrong, Sean. She has like one good fight. I like the part where Keith flies his plane in arena. That's fun.
It's a fun cutscene, but then the fight afterwards is just like you shoot a still target.
Yeah.
I cannot hit her. Maybe I need to shoot her with my pistol.
Try using your machine gun. Try
Boy, she
using
thought
your
about shooting me.
She sure did.
Oh, game over. To be continued?
Interesting. Is this a diverging path this deep in?
No.
Because I don't think it. Yeah, because like it's not admission failed.
Encrypted loss.
いいか
Oh.
Seems.
Okay, that tracks.
Good job, Sean.
I did it!
You got the blimp. It's kind of a bit more like a story with lore deeper than a brick well. I mean, those are the kind of arcs I like. I've mentioned I love bees. It's a really cool concept.
Oh, I get to fight in here.
Are you fucking ready?
誰そこで私を見ているのはまさかなぜ今頃あなたが私の心で何を
Oh.
That's an excellent question.
これは私の記憶誰も知らないはずの私が自分でも忘れていたはずなぜ今になってこんなことを思い出させるのやめてやめて私はもう決めたんだからあの人リジョンのため翼をだからもういいのさあもう消えてここからそうこれが私これが本当の姿だからもういいじゃまたどこかでね
Hmm.
どうした まだ調子悪いのか。ナイトレーベンが再び姿を現した。動きから判断するに相当のダメージを受けているものと思われる。全機集中攻撃をかけてあの有翼の悪魔を叩き落としてもらいたい。各員の武運を祈る。
Engage.
Ingagi.
In egg.
成仏しやがれ。
In egg.
In egg. Look, she's distracted. It won't be that hard, probably. It would have been really funny if you just like immediately shot her down. I was kind of expecting you to.
No way. You can't hit head-on missiles like that most of the time, even against a normal target. Unless you're really perfectly timed. And she's still out here doing 180s and shit, so she's fine.
Uh-huh. She's doing 180s and shit and feeling fine. Whoa. This music.
Warning. Warning. Missile alert.
I am not sure exactly what you're supposed to do. I think you do just have to keep shooting missiles at her until you finally hit her.
I mean, that's the plan.
Warning. Warning.
Can't remember if we've heard this track yet or not. I think we have heard it a couple times, but man, it's just so weird every time.
Warning. Missile alert. Missile alert.
I also have to get on the mission where you were quote unquote competing with Keith too. They coded him well enough to actually shoot shit down, so they can shoot things down if they want to.
If they want to.
I still whooped his ass, though.
It's true. It was pretty neck and neck there for a while, actually, I think. It was close a little bit.
Nah, I whooped his ass. Oh, there's one hit.
Missile alert.
I beat him by like 4 planes. You don't gotta pay him lip service. I whooped his ass.
This is like when you go against Thanatos, like it's just no contest.
You calling me Thanatos in this comparison?
No, it was calling it was calling Keith Thanatos.
Thanatos? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And secretly, Keith liked it, just like Thanatos. He complimented you and everything. You know, the first time that that happened, I thought it was a boss fight, and I got really confused.
I still haven't beaten him by 15 kills, and I'm sad about that. I've gotten so close so many times.
I don't know if I have, actually.
I think you have. I want to say I saw it on stream or something like that. Or maybe I just checked your achievements and I was like, Dinkelberg.
What can I say? I like bullying Thanatos. He's my boyfriend.
Yeah. He's your sassy, salty boyfriend who does the whole I don't like you, Babaka.
Baka.
You do kind of date two very different tsunder in that fucking game. If you want to, you don't have to.
Who's the other?
Meg.
Meg? The other
really?
literal tsundere who's like...
Whose literal job it is to whip you.
That's
Uh-huh.
true. I didn't think that there was that much of a connection there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just didn't romance her.
No, I didn't get that far. I cleared the first main story and then I was like, I'll come back to this, and I so far have not come back to it.
Also, bold and good writing on the behalf of Supergiant to write a complex character dynamic relationship in which you can romance both, and it does affect certain interactions you have, but it's not just negative.
Are we talking
job.
about like? So when we talk about like is there a deeper system or a deeper connection thing happening that I'm? Is that like a real thing that happens?
You just haven't gotten to it yet.
Wow.
I'm just gonna say that, yeah, too. I don't, without spoiling and without context, I'll say if you haven't gotten to it, you haven't gotten to it.
There's so much more to that video game than I ever could possibly conceive. Like that, honestly.
There's
Like,
still shit that I want to do that is like main story stuff.
Yeah.
The crazy thing, I want to say it was a while ago where I was like, I think it had Sean about like, was it familiars or something like that, or some helper or something? I can't remember.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, you get those, and I was like, when?
Exactly. You're not there yet. That's the time. That's how Hades works. You're not there yet.
Jeez, it's like, how many times do you have to fight Dad?
A lot.
I mean, you can turn that heat up as much as you want.
That's
you
true.
still haven't fought the true final boss of that game.
Oh my
That's a good
god.
point.
Yeah, if you haven't.
That's a really good point. Does it get swapped out? Like, does he actually, like, if you turn up the specific one that swaps out or the upgrades bosses?
We'll never tell. I'll never tell. You're not there yet, Jackson. You
You're
just gotta
just
get
not
there.
there yet.
Gosh dang it.
I will say, what is your guys' opinion on that kind of like? Because I feel like a lot of people do that with Dark Souls sometimes too, where it's like, you know, somebody like talking about a game with like a certain air of like, you know, you'll figure it out when somebody just who is already interested in the thing just like asks you something about it. What is your guys' kind of opinion on how to like handle that kind of thing?
More context, right?
Yeah.
Warning.
I don't know that you could have like a general opinion on that.
Yeah, that's fair. Essentially, I guess what spoilers is enough spoilers and not too much spoilers when it comes to stuff like that.
I guess the answer is like, because your mileage may vary. It's like kind of a personal preference thing.
Right.
If it's mechanics, then I usually don't care. If like somebody says, "Hey, you unlock a familiar system later," like that doesn't tell me that, you know, the Zagreus and Meg are gonna get down on Bone Town. That just tells me like, oh, like there's gonna be a new mechanic that unlocks later. Like that. doesn't
Shit!
feel like,
Did you just subtly imply that I accidentally spoiled something for you?
yeah, I didn't know about the Meg relationship thing.
Shit, Sean, why am I so bad at this? Teach me how to be better.
To be fair, Hades has been out for like 4 years.
Oh yeah, it's been like, I'm not upset about that. You could probably spoil more things and I'd be fine.
You'll
Like,
get
Hades
there.
2, Hades 2 is already like in development, so
Yeah,
like
it's been
Hades
early
1.
access.
Yeah.
To which, without spoiling anything, quite good, and I'm excited to see what the full version of the game is like.
Yeah,
Dang.
I am so excited for that to eventually fully release.
I have completed a full playthrough, a full run of it, and I'm just like, wow, there is already so much more in here, and also it has the entire base game in it. What the fuck?
Yes.
It's insane what they've done with it so far. I've really liked it.
They are my favorite video game developer, so any hint of them releasing a game, and I'm just like, please, please do it.
Yeah.
Giant, we love
Hit
you.
me.
You do good jerk. You do good jerk.
Good jerk.
Good jerk.
Good jerk.
Official alert.
But yeah, so that's probably at least my personal answer for the spoilers thing. Like narrative, try to avoid. Mechanics, couldn't care less.
For me, it's just a matter of hitting the sweet spot of enough to make me know, like, understand how excited I should be, or like how interested I should be, and no more.
Yeah, it was really funny where Shauna had this experience when doing the Elden Ring co-op, where I'd been hyping up for like months at this point. I was like, dude, you're gonna fight a boss. It's gonna be your favorite boss of the entire DLC. And we like walk up. We decided to play co-op, and we walk up to the gates, and we're like about to fight this. And he's like, "Yeah, I did it on my solo playthrough already." And I was like, "Well, what do you think?" He's like, "It's like, well, I hated it for this reason." And I was like,
No, that's not what I said.
"Well, I know
Oh,
it was.
wow.
It wasn't that you hated. It was.
I had a bad time.
Yeah, that's what.
Which
it
was not really the boss's fault. The boss is awesome.
I mean,
was just having a bad time with Elden Ring at the moment.
Yeah.
I've gotten to that. It's the second one, right? It's the
Yeah, it's this person, the swords person.
yes. It's the Pontiff 2.0. She's fucking great.
Yeah, it's Pontiff 2.0 is really what it is.
Yeah, she's awesome. Someday I will play that game from scratch again in order to be able to
Enjoy it.
fight all of the DLC bosses again.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've played a little bit of the DLC with David, and we got to the first one, Mr. Chinese Dragon, who's honestly
that fight is so cool.
it's really cool.
I love that fight.
I got teased a little bit with it, but then also like clipped off of it because like, oh shit, this is DLC. I shouldn't look at this because I like rated somebody who was playing it. So I knew it like existed, but then I heard them being like, man, this guy sucks. And then David and I fought him, and I'm like, this guy fucking rocks. What the hell?
He's so cool.
He's so. I do think it is always. I think there the two camps of Dark Souls Souls players are like down for the challenge but think something is cool, and the people who just think that the whole game is suffering 100%. If you're not suffering, you're not having a good time. And I'm like, what the fuck, guys? I don't play Souls games to suffer. I play Souls games to enjoy the cool fucking fights.
What's funny is I don't think that's an easy boss in theory, other than just being like,
Yeah.
I think it's statistically kind of weak, like its numbers are low, but its moveset is not easy.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. It's
But he's
it's
a
like
cool fight.
Yeah, it's like one of those like lion mini bosses, but like turned up to 11.
Yeah, kind of. He's awesome though. I mean, I'm a sucker for the like set piece bosses in that game, and
Yeah.
Dancing Lion is one of the best.
Yeah, it's also just a cool interpretation of that kind of thing. Like, I mean, as a kid, like I always thought that those like dancing Chinese dragon lions are like super creepy, but like really cool.
やはりまだか、やつめ。
Yeah, they're dope.
手際が悪い。やつをやる。今蹴りをつけてやる。
Yeah, no, so far we've played two of the bosses and I like them both quite a bit. Which is par for the course for FromSoft DLC, right? Like most of their DLC bosses are great.
Yeah, they put a lot of like extra time and effort into those guys.
Oh no,
little-
Keith!
Oh man,
俺かよ。
Yes!
Good job, Keith.
Get him!
Got him. Dead. Surely. The
I really thought he was
downloaded
just gonna
man
fly his plane into Dijin like he did
It's
with
his.
Rina.
I was gonna say it's his signature move.
Uh-huh.
ビジョンの撃墜を確認。
Neat.
作戦をよくぞ遂行してくれた。
This is a tough mission. Great job. Accommodations are in order. Landing.
Landing?
Landing. It's all the way over there. What is it doing all the way over there? It's a challenge, Sean. You don't even know where the landing strip is. The puzzle.
yeah. In terms of FromSoft and DLC, it's like I feel like the base game almost always has really well designed bosses, but you can tell that they take extra time to cook when they're working on a DLC.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've really never been disappointed by. I'm struggling to think of a DLC boss that I'm like, man, this just wasn't good.
I'm not a fan of the big torch guys. They suck to fight. I don't like them.
Torch guys.
Like the like 30-story tall walking torches. I
In
don't like
what?
them. In the DLC.
Oh, that's not a boss.
I know it's not a boss, but
That's
they
not what we're
suck.
talking about.
They're kind of like fine. They're not even considered roaming bosses technically. Yeah, just a big
Yeah,
guy.
Just treat them like a area hazard, dude.
I mean, you can kill them. They suck.
But why would you do that?
Did you actually try to kill one of them?
Uh-huh.
I mean, sorry. I will say I tried to kill them once and then realized, oh god, there's no way to ever be tall enough for this ride. Like, I could either spend the next 40 hours playing the DLC or spend the next 40 hours trying to kill this one man.
I'll put it this way. There is a reason to kill them.
Okay.
Oh, really? See, this is where I go back to, I'm fine with mechanics. Like, if there's some item that you get that's...
What's that?
Some item?
The fuck is that?
Okay.
What's going on, guys? How we beat Digit?
Turns out Keith does have the most interesting ending. Here we were trying to relationship Fiona.
Buckle your seatbelt, guys.
ところがたった今、所属不明の飛行部隊が都市部を攻撃中との情報が入った。詳細は不明。相当数の戦力であるとしか確認されていない。これまで戦い抜いてきた諸君の命を今一度ゼネラルリソースに預け、これを攻め、忌まわしい戦いに終止符を打ってもらいたい。戦闘機の井の栄養を諸君に。
What a weird development.
Uh-huh. Oh, you don't even know. John, rate me on a scale. How horrible am I being tonight?
You've been much worse before.
Okay, good. I'll take that as a compliment.
That's a delightfully backhanded compliment.
Look, you haven't been here for our Metroid 2 stream.
It's been a travesty, but I'm glad you're enjoying the game, Sean.
Suddenly, Creeper Cat makes much more sense of do you like asking questions about obscure things, or is that just me?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to get killed by aliens. Put your volume mixer away.
I'm just turning this up, because this music, I think...
You just didn't pass me that aux cord.
No, Jesus.
It was like...
They're all fucking Night Ravens.
Uh-huh. Sean, it's the... I never put this together. This is kind of a weird, like, homage to the... It's a little bit of an homage to the Ava series, but with a lot less, you know, a lot less build up.
Oh, I killed one already. Yeah, they are like the Ava series in that the mass-produced ones kind of suck.
You fucking ready?
Hacking? I shot a missile at him. Oh.
Sean, you should go to 3D view? I think your plane changed.
Yeah, it seemingly did.
That wasn't the plane you were in before. Are you fucking ready for the strangest and coolest ending in this game?
Are you in the Electrosphere right now? You don't know?
Guys, we're gonna have a lot to talk about after the stream, I think. How are we feeling here? Jackson, Sean, who wants to put input? Where are your heads with what's happening right now?
I asked my question, dang it.
He did, that's true.
Do you want me to start answering honestly now or not? Or do you want to wait until credits roll?
I mean, we may as well wait and see what the game's got going on.
Sure, yeah. Unless you're like pretty confident that the game's not gonna offer.
I
any
don't
more
trust
trends.
Isaac to be confident about anything these days.
Wow. Damn. I've only built part of my brand at how confident I am until I'm not. I have a certain amount of dumb idiot confidence that once it turns out that I've been wrong the entire time, that I crumple like a house of cards. God.
Bingo.
This laser is ridiculously hard to aim.
I
But
do
it has
love
cracks because Rena doesn't have very good aim with it either.
I do love this set piece, though, also, just for, like, what it is. It's like, oh, so this is what the fucking Night Raven was like? You get to fucking fly it?
Yeah, it is cool that you get to fly the Night Raven.
Oh, so you. Wait, yeah. So you're not necessarily. Okay.
Yeah?
So
Get it.
you might have brain transferred to a Night Raven, like your missile hacked it, which established some sort of connection, some sort of Ethernet connection. Your missile was actually a big long Ethernet cable, and then you
The
just
harpoon.
yeah, exactly.
The harpoon from Cowboy Bebop, yeah.
And then you just took it over. You just hacked it and took it over from there.
Yep. I will say, unless you're just making a bit with the missile part, that's a little bit... No, I don't think the missile had anything to do with it. I think you just literally hacked one of them. And you're in it now. Who knows what your other plane is doing?
Yeah, like you're controlling this thing, but I don't know if it's like your whole body and consciousness or everything, or if it's just like you are remote controlling it like a little, model helicopter thing.
I mean, that's sort of how you control everything in this game.
That's true.
I mean, think about how they were discussing, like, there is a mix of the discussion on how, like, different piloting happens in this setting, right? Like, they mentioned that whilst there are still, like, manned planes, they are experimenting with remote controlled or not plane controlled planes. So who's to say that you're even in your own plane when you're flying? Who's to
That's
say
true.
that you aren't just in this plane now?
Yeah, I think they're called drones. Like that's pretty popular even in real life now. Like drone planes are, I would say, catching a lot of traction.
I mean, that's been a thing for
Yeah.
For a while now.
long time.
Yeah.
Like
It's been a
15
joke.
years.
It's been a pretty
20 years.
It's been a pretty common thing to dunk on the U.S. military for using Xbox 360 controllers to pilot their UAVs. Though to be fair, it's a really good controller. They could do worse.
Uh-huh. Man, imagine if they were using an N64 controller for it.
Oh my god, I would love that. They never would.
That
Obviously, they need
involves-
to use a GameCube controller, guys. It's ultimately the best controller ever made.
I feel like, you know how in hacking scenes, like in movies and stuff like that, where they're just like, oh man, we got hacked, we gotta counter-hack them, where people will put like 5 hands on a keyboard, because like the more hands, the more typing, the better. There's a real scene, it's been a while since I've seen it, it's very funny. It's the same thing with the N64 controller. It takes 3 or more hands to use it properly, so you just have at least 2 brains holding that controller for optimal like piloting.
I mean, the second episode of Billy and Mandy has a joke about how the N64 controller is an unknowable beast, and it's like a controller with like 4 handles.
And I should go back and rewatch Billy and Mandy. That show was awesome.
Yeah. I just remember they were just like playing video game, and Billy was like, being Billy, and they hand him a controller, and he looks at it, and he's like, how are you supposed to hold this thing? It's literally what he says.
It's true though.
Warning.
They were playing some weird Mario Kart clone, you know, that they did. It's like between that and the Ocarina of Time reference in Powerpuff Girls. That joke always got me too. The fucking mayor killed his own fairy. It's really funny.
Warning.
I don't think I remember that. That sounds good though.
He's just playing something that very clearly is Legend of Zelda, and he like hits a button and Link swings his sword, and he hits a button again and he swings his sword and he kills his fairy and he goes, "God damn fairy." Well, he doesn't say damn, it's a kid's show, but you know. It's really funny. It's a good bit.
I would love if he swore like that. If he,
I mean, he would. That should be really weird for, like, it's really pretty unsubtle adult humor. Like, the mayor and his assistant is really not subtle at all.
oh yeah,
It's a funny joke, but it's not a kid's joke.
yeah. I also appreciate this. This was a kid's joke, but I still appreciated how her name was Sarah Bellum because she was the brains of the outfit.
You know, I didn't realize, and also, I don't blame you, Sean. I would want to use the laser the entire time too, because they gave you a fucking laser.
Yeah, like I had been using the laser because I'm like, this is my one chance in the whole game to use the laser. Of course I'm going to use it. But also, it is much easier to just shoot the missiles because you don't get an aiming reticle for the laser unless you're like right on them.
Yup. I will say, they didn't quite get the laser down until 5, but boy, does that laser fucking kick ass. I love the laser in 5. It just annihilates anything it hits. It's incredible. It's just a laser pointer of doom. But I will admit, Jackson, I didn't put that portmanteau together. I didn't realize her name was a pun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's delightful.
I don't even think I knew her name was Sarah. I'm pretty sure I just knew her as Miss Bellum.
That's true. I guess they really don't say her first name that much.
I was gonna say, kid me definitely wouldn't have thought about an adult's first name. I'll just admit that. Which might be a really clever adult joke in and of itself, that they knew that the kids wouldn't pick up on that because kids don't call adults by their first name.
It's good.
Or maybe you were just really smart for a kid. Good on you, smart guy.
That's where I put all my intelligence points. Like, some people allocate stats like a D&D character, but I allocated my stats by my lifespan, and I put all my points in childhood.
I was about to say, I was like, because at first I was like, are you saying that you stat allocated when you were a kid? Because where the fuck did all my points go? I had none.
Yeah, I stat allocated by timeline instead of by like character sheet or something like that.
Maybe I just had bad rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I had no
I
positives.
didn't let you reroll ones.
Uh-huh. It's true, and I had a lot of ones. A lot of ones and a little bit of disadvantage. You know how it goes.
I am in an online D&D game that I play once a month in. We had our session last night. And I got to see some of the other character sheets. And I realized we have some of the craziest stat spreads that I've ever seen characters have. Like, yeah, I just counted it up last night. I was like, I think I have a cumulative, because I have like a +4 to charisma, +4 to wisdom. Kind of, you know, I've got some good pluses, and so I counted it up, and I have like a cumulative across the character sheet, like +13 or something like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, because it was like +4 wisdom, charisma, +3 and +2 dexterity, and everything else is like 0. But then I saw that there was another character who had a cumulative plus 18 across the board. Like when you
What
added it all
the hell?
up, right? I was like, my God, what did this guy do?
Did you
And then
record your rolls? Because I have to see them to know that they're real.
We did roll with we individually rolled with the DM, so like we did do it all together, or at least like DM and player did it together. And then there was another guy who got really shortchanged. Like he had like a cumulative like plus 7 total.
Oh no.
That's why rolling for sets is dumb.
Yep, I prefer point buy. Just do point buy.
Wait, but what? Point buy or standard array? Like, honestly, I prefer standard array.
Yeah. I like point buy.
Oh, there you are. You're just flying 2 planes at the same time.
I've split my mind.
But then again, I feel like I should let this cutscene.
Alright. What are your theories? And then I'll give my own.
There's a lot of the time where it seems like the main character. We've talked about this off and on. The main character is not. It might actually just be from like the Electrosphere or something like that the entire time. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why I say this whole, like, every playthrough and the order you play in it, regardless of playthrough, is fully canonical from start to finish is because you aren't human. You're an AI who's learning through a program that Simon has created.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? That's why I think this ending is the best ending to end on, in my opinion, for this playthrough. Holy shit. Right? Isn't that such a cool concept?
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's got its own meta-narrative about video games, but an actual narrative and not just video games are cool, huh? It is a game about being a video game from a cyberpunk standpoint. It's amazing. It's mind-boggling. And I also do think, if not all of them, at least Vision is definitely sublimated. Like, that is Vision, and he dies every time. And he's trapped in the program because Simon is doing some weird revenge. That part I don't understand, but Simon and him have some kind of beef. And he's punishing Simon and using you to punish him, while you are learning how to be a plane, but you're an artificial intelligence learning how to fly an aircraft. That's why if it feels like the characters are just treated as information. Well, ironically, thematically, that makes sense if you're an AI. They're just information. They're just information for you, which is fascinating. Fuck! I've been sitting on that for literal months now. Yeah, no, I love Ace Combat 5 and Ace Combat 0, like, a lot. They're two of my favorite games, narratives for different reasons, but this is, science fiction-wise, one of my favorite video games. And this is why on the fucking tail of Deus Ex, Sean, I felt like we really needed to play this game. Holy shit.
That's valid.
Yeah, it's one of my hands down favorite pieces of cyberpunk science fiction I've engaged with, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too.
It was good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. It's my call out to the greater sphere of video games. I want more games like this. But to be fair, I think we have, I think we've gotten plenty more good examples of games like this, so they're definitely out there and getting made. 'Cause I'd put this alongside things like Undertale and stuff, and Deus Ex. I would.
I don't know what those three games have in common.
Kind of having meta-textual narratives and discussions about choice and stuff. I guess Deus Ex more so about the science fiction stuff with this, and Undertale more about the meta-textual stuff. Also, moment of truth. Did we get every mission? We maybe missed one mission, but that's because I was honestly scared because I didn't know if... Oh?
やっとまた会えたな。どうだ？もう気がついているのかもしれないが、お前は私によって作られたプログラムだったのだ。
Oh,
そしてこれまでお前が見てきたすべての出来事。
as
こ
were
の
all
私
the
が
things.
お前を AI としてプログラムしたすべての可能性。それが私に答えを教えてくれた。ここまでたどり着いたお前は、多くのパターンによって変化し続けるすべての世界で、あの男を完璧に抹殺することができたはずだ。私から陽子を奪ったあの男。デッドコピーとして自分だけは抜け抜けと生き残ったあの男。ビジョン。奴の思考を複製したプログラムの全てを完全に消去してやった。可能性は全て見せてもらった。それではこれから真実の世界へお前を放つことにしよう。さあ、今までの出来事、記憶を全て忘れ、その目でこの世界の現実をしっかりと知るがいい。この世界が誰が何のために作ったものなのか。
Well, I didn't know there would be an after credit thing.
That's hilarious that you were like, here's all my fan theories.
あらかじめ
then
仕組まれ
Simon
た
just
物語など存在
Told
し
you? Yeah, I did not know that.
ゲーム
Ah, dude! No, he perched you, Sean!
Ah, jeez.
There you have it. You were in the Electrosphere the entire time.
but it seems
I like
every-
after all that, we still get the option to save, as though it's like,
Uh-huh.
game doesn't really commit to that little bit.
Mission Simulator. Oh, this is how you get all missions. So I guess you did get all missions. There you go. Now you can play any mission you want.
That's actually really cool. The fact that once you clear all 5 playthroughs, it recognizes, hey, you cleared all the playthroughs. Now you can just do them in whatever order you want, whenever you want.
And there you have it. There are still 3 missions that we haven't played somehow.
Yep, seems like it somehow.
Fuck. What a wild game, man. I
From the mission selection, or would we be able to pick them out and play them then?
don't know. I think reopen is what you want. Which is very weird.
It only gave me the ones that I have already done.
That's what it seemed like, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, that ending though, I love that ending because you see the planes land and they make it very clear that nobody was inside the planes.
Mhm.
So that's one thing I really appreciate about this game that Team Aces experiments with, but I think this is like the most they experiment with it on the whole, is like your main character having like a tangible presence for being a silent protagonist, and this is maybe the only one of theirs where it's like part of the mystery is trying to figure out what your deal is, because you do have a significant part in all of this, and over time you begin to realize that it's more significant than just a guy flying around in a plane. You don't know what you are, and nobody else does either.
Yeah.
So the fascinating thing, the one little twist that kind of makes me think is, which is funny by the way, that once again, literally all of it's just painted out in plain text in front of you, like, hey, this is who you are, this is the goal, this is how Dijon screwed me over and why you have to kill Dijon in every playthrough because I'm setting these worlds up to be, I want revenge against Dijon. And then he says in the end, now I really see to the real, or like these worlds are also programs that he's made. So it seems like your entire playthrough of Ace Combat 3 is purely simulation work.
Yes.
Yep.
To where theoretically whatever comes after that is real world or real work or whatever, but nothing, any of the characters, any of the incidents, anything that actually happens in Ace Combat 3, none of it is in the real world of Ace Combat 3. Like, if it's all simulations, then none of these events truly occurred within the world of Ace Combat 3.
But I think there's an
I think
implication.
some of the background information is like true to life, though. Like, I think that all of the flashbacks of like Rena and Dijon and their like personal lives, I think all of that stuff is real.
Yes,
The
because
background
there's
information, yes, but yeah.
there's an implication that whilst the simulation is still manufactured, it's still based on the setting. Like, there's an implication that like he didn't just make up everything. It's all based on things in the real world, which is almost kind of its own, you know, interesting motif about like the whole video game situation. Like, right, like, is how much of that is real because you experienced it as that AI based on Simon's creation of it. But I think it's important that they contextualize that search is you exploring the internet. I think he's letting you at least look at the internet. And I think the information in there is factual, or at least partially factual. I don't think he constructed that. I think he literally, either he let you on the internet or he doesn't know that you're sneaking onto the internet to get that information. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I knew that all the historical context was real, but I didn't think that the things actively being produced were real. I thought that all of these missions were just simulations and stuff.
Yes. Because that's the point, right? Like, almost in real life, you know, like, we have World War II video games. A lot of them are technically fictional, but they're still based on real, you know, things because you have to build something out of something real. So to an AI, what the hell does that mean? It's real to them.
That's true.
It's so cool. So fucking cool. No, I love that. That's my whole thing is like, as a piece of video game media, it is my example of how you make a science fiction piece out of a video game being a video game. Like, it is a science fiction piece because the media that it's on, not because it is a video game with science fiction things in it.
Yeah.
It is arguably it's almost like found media in that sense, right? Well, not really, but like, it being contextualized in its setting as a simulation makes it feel much more interesting to like kind of piece apart, right? Because if it was just like a game about an AI flying planes and they didn't have any kind of like outer context to it, I don't think it would have the same kind of intrigue or interest for what it is, because then it would just be a game about being an AI flying airplanes. Which could be cool, but I do think the way that they structured the game really helps to get you in that more philosophical mindset of like how you kind of like how video games like teach you how to do things. That's why Sean complimenting how well Ace Combat really does at teaching you to fly a plane is almost weirdly thematic to the game. Because you're an AI learning how to fly a plane.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, were you going to say something or just agreeing, Sean?
I just said yeah.
It would make me like seeing this final conclusion of having the veil parted does make me want to pay attention more to Simon as a character now.
Uh-huh.
Because I feel like I never really gave him that much time of day, but Simon is the keystone in all of this, really. It's likely that everything that anyone else is saying is part of the simulation.
I mean, there's that one part, if you remember correctly, that only happened in one playthrough. That was almost seemingly a random event because we got to that same part and it was Simon in a recording where he literally talks to you as the player.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. I'd be interested to see more of what Simon was really trying to say the whole time while we were going through the simulations.
It does make me wonder, again, Team Aces, just come on, man. I want to know what was the conversation in the mission where you're flying with Keith, and there's it's between you and Keith, and then suddenly you're getting background noise. There has to be important information in there. I think that's Dijin and Yoko. That's a recording of Dijin and Yoko, and that's why it's distracting.
Do Fiona or Rena hold any special significance to Simon or to anybody, or are those just
I mean, Rena definitely for the Night Raven, given all the research behind that and her association with Dijin. I just think Fiona and Cynthia and Enric were just people who got caught, and Keith for that matter, just got caught in the middle of everything. I think they were just they were just actors. They were quite literally actors, and they were treated that way too.
That makes sense.
And I mean, that's not to say that, characters like Cynthia had because even Cynthia had at least some association with Dijin. Every character that's important in the game has an association with Dijin because Dijin is the actual main character aside from you, the player.
Yeah, you're built for Dijin. It seems like he really wants to take Dijin out, and you're built to destroy Dijin.
And I mean, even then, there's a little bit of, the existential discussion of you're built to destroy Dijin, but really you're not destroying Dijin. He just trapped you in a simulation with him, and you're there to torture Dijin.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really fascinating. There's a lot. It's a cool fucking game, man, and I think it has a lot of cool concepts for how it structures its narrative and everything, and yeah, I want to see more games like this. Armored Core 6, you had my hopes up and you kind of fumbled, man. You're the next closest thing I could compare this game to. Oh, go ahead.
The other thing would be Nier Automata.
That's true. And Nier Automata. And again, same issues.
As much as I hate playthrough B of Nier Automata, once you get past playthrough B, it does start to get into some debatably similar stuff.
Yes, agreed. Especially with the stuff with A2 and 2B and 9S, yeah.
The stuff with all of the characters in the game.
The stuff with the characters in the game, yeah. But yeah, like, there's still not a game that truly has done for me the true marrying of, we made a game with multiple endings and you should play all the endings and you play them out of order. Like, I do think that there is not an intended order to play this game in, because
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but this is very much an avant-garde game. Like, I think there's a very good reason we haven't seen a game like this, and I don't know if we ever will, outside of maybe an indie game at some point.
Yeah, indie games can probably still explore this space, but AAA kind of,
It's just too risky.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
I mean, as you pointed out, Ace Combat 3 was a flop in Japan. It did not do well. I think one of you looked that up. It did not do well. So,
Well, that was the whole point. Like, that's the whole reason that's the whole reason they didn't do a proper North America release, is because it didn't do well in Japan.
yep. Shame. Yeah,
Which I guess they did kind of, but it was the one that was like the
Well, that's why I say a
chainsaw-
proper North America
proper
release.
release, yeah.
right. Guys, what they did is they chopped and screwed all of the missions into a random order.
I was just gonna say, now that we've played the game, it's hard to imagine how you could even construct a linear game out of this.
Yup.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yup.
I mean, the punchline with Simon would still make sense, but like,
I don't even think they mentioned that. Just straight up don't even think they talk about that.
really, like that's not still the punchline at the
There's
end
no
of like, oh,
there's no voice acting. I don't think there's any voice acting in the English release. It's just a bunch of plane missions in a random order.
oh, there's no like cutscenes or anything.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
They took out all of the animated segments as well.
Did they take out like Rena talking to herself in that canyon mission? Like, is it just weirdly silent?
There might be a chance that mission isn't even in the US version. I don't think it had all the missions. It was just chopped and screwed a random set of missions together into an arcade flight sim.
Oh my gosh.
Yup.
What the heck?
Yup. So everybody out there, go check out. Go check out the. I really should have prepared. I like this just came to
tell
mind.
everyone the name of the thing.
I don't even know what version. There's like 2 versions now. There's very recently. You can Google it. Here, I can find it. Ace Combat 3 English patch. I believe the one I used was Load Word Team. Load Word Team is the one that I use for the localization that shows all of the entries, because at one point those weren't translated either. It was just the dialogue that was translated when I played it the first time. So like, if you want to be able to play this game the way it was intended to, you just need ISO or a copy of Ace Combat 3 and the English patcher and Delta patcher. That's it, and you can actually experience this game the way it was intended to. Does have to be a Japanese version of the game. That's all. I should point that out. Has to be a Japanese version of the game. I'm pretty sure, because this game was on 2 discs, right? I'm pretty sure the US version was only 1 disc. It would have to be.
Sense.
They literally didn't even have any of the cutscenes. That's like half the space probably on those CDs. So yeah. So yeah, there you have it, folks. That's my weird Japanese game that Tim Rogers hasn't made a video on yet. Maybe I need to make a 6-hour video on this video game. It's fascinating. There's a lot you could dive into, but I know if he were to ever play this game, he would play the. What would you say? He would play 5 full playthroughs at least 3 more times. Would you say?
Yes.
Because Tim Rogers is an animal. He said it, not me. But yeah, no, this game is great, and I hope that there's an indie dev out there that played this and is inspired by it. Because again, I think that there is still like things to glean from this. Like, you know, it's like between this and arguably, you know, like Tokimeki for like the best naturalistic of getting an ending intentionally, like letting the player get their endings on their own. But then also one step further of being like letting them get their endings on their own, but encouraging the player that one ending is not what you should be settled with. So, yeah. No, this is a good game. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, I promise, that's all I gotta say. So,
Yeah.
any final thoughts? Any criticisms?
When we want to play air combat too.
I mean, don't tempt me with a good time. There's literally a song in there that I've used for the stream intro that makes me want to play that game, Jackson.
That's true. What have I done? What have I said?
I will say, and I'm sorry, I was gonna keep this in my hat, but you specifically asked for criticism.
Do it.
I was a little disappointed by the reveal. I think the structure of this game is fascinating, and it's very cool. I have tons of respect for what they're doing with this, but it does feel like the final unveiling doesn't really leave us with anything. Like, I tend to prefer science fiction that has some sort of either humanist theme or like something thematically that you can take out of it and apply to either the real world or any kind of like speculative fiction concept or something. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this game just doesn't, in terms of theme, this game just doesn't. Like, there's just nothing to the story once it's like all laid out. It's laid out in a fascinatingly intricate way, but the actual story they're telling is just nothing.
Yeah, that's fair. And I would say, like, I felt kind of duped where I was like, use my 5 brain, and then not only did they say it outright, they said it in almost the most literal way, when they could have maybe given Simon a little bit more texture and made him less like just forefront on what you are and be more like, hey, thanks for all that help. Now I'm just gonna let you out, to lead the player to be like, what do you mean you're gonna let me out? Or something. Like, just something more subtle. I agree with that. I think it was a little bit too on the nose.
Yeah, leave you with anything to chew on, whether it be, like you say, like some kind of food for thought about what the game was, or some kind of thematic significance to what you were doing, or anything like that.
Right,
This
like,
game yeah, what's up?
I was gonna say, it's like maybe ask like the player and the character AI, like, what did you think of this, as like, you know, a rhetorical question or something, just to be like, what did you think of this? But he doesn't really do that either.
Mm-hmm.
This game's just a recontextualized Thomas Was Alone.
God damn it, Jackson. Why'd you have to give away why I like this game?
See, I think Thomas is Alone is a way more compelling story.
Yes. Well, that's because Thomas Was Alone is one of the fucking best narratives I've ever heard, Sean. That's not fair. It's really good, though. I
Hey,
like
I'm
Thomas
not the one
Was
who brought
Alone
up that comparison.
That's true.
Man, I
Wow.
haven't played Thomas Was Alone in a long time.
I'd
Yeah.
be down to stream it. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's made me cry multiple times.
And I'm not even kidding. It's literally a similar punchline at the very end.
I guess the opposite being, you know, instead of a weird, creepy programmer saying that he's gonna let you out, they instead roll the AI revolution.
Yeah, you fight your way out.
Which is great. I love Thomas Was Alone. Yeah, no, I still think that's what I mean. Is like, I still think that if that's a criticism that exists, then I do hope that there's an indie dev that takes inspiration of this, because this definitely can be iterated on, and its avant-garde nature is something I would like to see at least tried again at some point. Maybe handled with a little bit more philosophy.
It is a fascinating experiment that they executed on pretty well. There's just not a lot of substance underneath that, so I would love to see somebody tackle something like this again.
Yep. And it's like, even with the same like kind of motifs too, cyberpunk is the perfect kind of thing to explore with that. Like with cyberspace and simulations and
I'm
stuff.
not saying that it will scratch this itch, but we should play the Forgotten City on stream at some point, because it is one of the few games that you could legitimately consider like to be at least in the same vein.
Gotcha.
You know what that is, right?
No, actually I don't. I mean, I think I could have some ideas of what the Forgotten City is. It sounds like either...
It's not what you think it is.
Okay, never mind.
It's a game where you play as... It's an isekai.
Okay.
It's a game where you basically like go into this weird city that has all of these weirdly restrictive rules, like holy laws. And if any law is ever broken, then God will destroy the entire city. So it's like a giant prisoner's dilemma almost. But the idea is that it's supposed to be this like perfect city, but you're like investigating it and like uncovering all the ways that it's like maybe not so perfect. But anytime you commit one of the holy like crimes, it resets the world. Like you, because you're like isekai'd in and not actually from here, exist outside of their timeline. So anytime you break their laws, their world gets destroyed and you reset the timeline and start over.
Okay. Yeah. And this is, if I remember correctly, is it Greek? Is it Greek?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've wanted to play that game very badly. It looks very
I've never played
fascinating.
it, but it's always looked interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean, even on that comparison too, it never occurred to me that this game does hold a little bit of that Majora's Mask 2 DNA. I never thought about that, where you're, replaying the game over and over again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've never thought about that too. So there you go, Sean. I've been answered. There are more games like this.
Sort of. I still think that what this does is like a very different spin on the concept than something like Ocarina, Majora, but
agreed. And I do think that any theme to at least glean
also this
from
would have
it.
been contemporary with Majora, so that's cool.
That's true, yeah.
I haven't thought about
Can't even say that it was inspired by Majora, because if anything, they probably came out around the same time.
Yeah. And for me, if like there is any theme to like at least glean from it, is I always still think, or I guess it's still motifs. It just has really strong motifs. You're right about that. But I do think it is fascinating what they have to say about itself as a video game in a very literal sense, like it has an interesting at least a food for thought about video games and the future, kind of thing that I think is neat. So,
care to elaborate? Because that was as vague as it could have been.
Your body and you, video games and the future.
Well, just like how people interface with video games and how that can be applied to things like AI intelligence, but also how we interface with game systems and stuff to learn things is just that is how that happens, and kind of putting it at least, subconsciously into your head, like you're naturally learning something when you are playing a video game, even if you're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about learning, you're just doing. And that's a very strong presence in the game, thinking about it in retrospect as an entity who's learning. The only way that they're able to learn is in a simulation. you know,
Well,
we
I
already
think-
kind of do that. It's kind of neat how that parallel crosses.
So I think what Isaac's trying to say is that Ace Combat 3 is an
Edutainment.
edutainment. There we go. Sorry if I remembered the word edutainment game. Yeah.
And you were on the side of the code all along.
It's in my code. It's in my DNA.
Kanye, dude, I want to make a joke video now where it's that scene from Kanye, but instead of, you know, it being fucking
I
Wreck-It
love the
Ralph, it's
phrasing
just
that scene from Kanye as though Kanye is just a living story.
just like, do you think it would be
Kanye
funnier
is a dream we all shared.
Would it be funnier if it was like unironically like Kanye was someone like Dijon or like the main character? I think it'd be funnier if it was actually him being Dijon.
And is she in question Rena or she was on the side of the video game?
Yeah. No, she's clearly you or Dijon. I think that'd be the whole point. Nobody knows. Because nobody knows what the fuck Kanye is talking about. There you have it, folks. There's my really weird game to share with the group. I hope y'all enjoy it. Well,
It
I'll
was
go.
certainly a fascinating journey.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and start closing the stream down. But before I do, if anybody's in chat, if you want to make an ending bit, throw something out. I feel like usually in these cases where nobody said anything for a while, if you guys are just kind of chilling, I'll go ahead and start the outro here in a second. But if anybody's there, if you're just listening, say something. If not, we're gonna end the stream now. Unless you guys want to.
That's
I mean, we can give it back up if one's needed. We'll give chat a minute to respond though. If you want to see something drawn for the end of the stream.
You guys want to add anything to the sentence? Because what I've essentially adapted it into is, I feel bad if like just one person was to say something, so I just say, guys, just say a couple things, and I'll make something out of whatever nonsense you give me until I'm happy.
I mean, I do want, but she was on the side of the video game in there somewhere.
Okay. Jackson?
if I were to make a crayon prompt suggestion, because we've done a lot of them just for ourselves. I would love to see like a real bird reimagined as a plane. So it's like a bird, just like a.
I mean, it's gotta be a canary, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a canary. Yeah, just a canary that's like metallic, like an airplane, but it's so shaped like bird, but components of airplane. I was trying to figure out how to phrase that.
So like a canary, like a plane,
Yeah.
shaped like a canary,
Yes.
Gotcha.
but it was on the side of the video game.
But it was on the side of the
but it was on the side of the video game all along.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Simon says.
But the canary plane was on the side of the video game all along, and you are in a simulation.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's a lot. That's a lot for the AI to figure out about the AI.
Milo, say hi.
Hi, Milo.
Yeah. It almost sounded like you had a child in the background, which I guess technically isn't wrong.
Yeah,
He's a very old child.
Well, that's one of those because like cats, if I remember my cat facts correctly, cats meow the way they do. Well, not for other cats, but they meow the way they do around humans to imitate a baby sounds. Like
Where's Milo ever heard a baby?
it's just coded into their
It's in the
cat.
code.
It's in the code. The cat code stipulates that they must emotionally manipulate their human beings.
Mhm.
It's
Are you
it's a
hearing
part.
the manipulation going on?
I heard something.
Go ahead, Milo. Do it again.
He won't.
You
Now that
won't
you
now.
asked. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I'll go ahead and get that cooking. I think chat's just vibing, so thank you for joining, everybody. I hope you had a good time and you enjoyed the show. If you're able to join the live show, thank you for stopping by and thank you for stopping by and chatting and watching. If you're watching this in the future, thank you for taking the time to go back and rewatching the VOD. We appreciate it. If you're out there and you enjoyed this and you want to see more of what we're up to, I recommend scrolling down below and following, or clicking any of the links. There's a link to an Instagram, Facebook, a Twitter, and a Discord. We post when we go live on any one of those platforms, as well as anything else that we're up to. And just generally, you can come, oh god, hang out with the rest of the community there. Good time on the Discord. Speaking of which, a shout out to our community there and everyone who follows. You guys are a wonderful audience and we appreciate you. If we do anything particularly entertaining or noteworthy, feel free to clip it and share it on the internet. Just make sure to also hashtag it with MCCanary or link it back to the stream so people can find more of the good stuff we do here. Also, stick around to the very end if you want to see that image we made. We also do a bit of a closing bit and we do raid after every stream, so that way the vampires in our chat can keep watching. Just everybody else out there, make sure to go lock your doors and windows because it's almost lunchtime for vampires. Oh, and last but not least, because I always say it out of order because I keep forgetting. If you want to see the stream grow, let people know. It's just a fun little jingle that I've kept saying. So I always like it when people come in and mention that they heard about this from somebody else. It's neat. So, yeah. Also, a huge thank you to Moat Shrimp and all of our supporters on Patreon and Twitch. Your generosity allows us to continue to expand the stream as well as take on more projects. And the stream would not be made possible without viewers like you. So we thank you. If you want to see your name added to this list, as well as a couple of the benefits you can get, you could always subscribe directly on Twitch, or you could check out the Patreon page. That'll show you everything that you can get, and any amount is always appreciated. Once again, thank you. And thank you to your mods doing a wonderful job holding back the robot army and preventing becoming famous. Thank you, Sean and Jackson, for playing through Ace Combat 3 with me. Had a good time.
Yeah.
You guys have any housekeeping?
Nope.
Nah.
Well, go check out Sean and Jackson and the rest of our friends on their stuff in Goblin Entertainment. That link tree will take you to all their stuff. And you can check out the rest of my stuff here. That link tree has a bunch of stuff that everywhere that I post, such as a VOD channel for the Twitch, as well as a YouTube for my own videos, an art station for my art, and a SoundCloud for my music. So go check everybody out. Goblin Entertainment. Alright, stick around, we'll be raiding to someone. I saw that Vumu was live. Could also go to someone. Dodo's also live. They're actually playing a plane game. They're playing War Thunder. You want to head over to Dodo? He's playing a plane game.
Battle Lightning.
Yes. So we'll head over to Dodo. They're another VTuber and they're a chill time, so everybody go say hi to them. Otherwise, have a good evening. Take it easy. Sean, is there anything you'd like to tell the audience?
The octopus?
Jackson, is there anything you'd like to tell artificial intelligence?
Yeah, man. Don't be so fake. Don't be so artificial. Get some of that real intelligence. Drink Gatorade.
I'd say, Jackson, we got close.
We got one.
We got one canary plane.
Nice.
And we got one canary plane on the side of the video game. Really didn't want to think. I gave Bing anxiety. It did not want to interface with, and you are in a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I gave.
Boy, Silas.
Bing.
Welcome to the end of the stream.
Hey, you're welcome. You're
Let's
here
go to-
for about another 20 seconds.
Can we go to the bar called Canary?
MCCanary.
Cannery, yeah.
It's where I buy my